Trackzy,
Hey guys.
yo, got you, bro. You should be good to turn your cams on and everything if you want to. Um,
Okay.
I got your perms. I think you're good. Oh man,
Fix this stuff. All right.
how you
I
doing,
just
bro?
moved
Oh, look at
everything.
this,
I'm
my
doing good,
man. Look at
man.
that. Look at that snack on screen.
I'm trying. I got to get a better webcam because my little display is
Yeah,
all blown out and could be really cool, but it's all blown out. So
I
we're
love
good
it,
though.
man. How you doing, bro? Like, I bet it's been a crazy, crazy month or two for you.
Yeah. It's been nuts, man. But it's like like how fun is this
Oh,
world?
dude, it's insane, bro. Just
It
like
it
it's like I didn't know that we'd ever have a buble like this. You know what I mean? For us, our generation, and we're riding it like
yeah.
because like I said, the amount of people's lives is changing. Like obviously in my position, I see it, or we all see it from our DMs and what, and it is
Yeah.
millions of dollars that is coming from, it's circulating into hands that never thought they would see it. You know what I mean?
Never would see it. Yeah.
And it's
Sorry, I was gonna say even small artists like because we talk about the millions or whatever, but like think about the artists that are just like in Thailand that made 5 grand.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy, right? Like that's amazing to them. So like that's
That
kind of
that
cool
to
too.
me was what sold me on NFTs is that we have an in-house artist, right? So I have a friend of ours, we're in his basement right now. His name's Happy, right? 3D, and he
Nice.
does all our NFT stuff. So before this he had a job he didn't particularly enjoy doing. He still does, but he's a CAD renderer for multi-million-dollar beach homes, right? So the architecture. So he's
Oh, okay.
very skilled at 3D rendering, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so I was like, man, you got to get into this. And so when I saw that, like, the perfect example is he sells his art art online for $100. And then immediately the guy bought it, relisted it for $3,500. And you're like, what the fuck? And in the real world, that happens all the time, right? A great artist is discovered, he is paid peanuts for something, then it goes on to be worth millions. Well, with smart contracts, Happy's sitting there going to make more money off the resale than he did on the original sale. And so for small artists, like you say, this has completely revolutionized the way that they get to monetize the growth of their work and popularity.
Yep. I love it. I mean, it's so empowering for artists and stuff. I mean, like 90% of these artists were like drawing, furry porn for
Yeah,
$100, and now
yeah,
they can actually like make some real money, and
yeah.
and it's
Because we're all out
it's
there,
great.
right? We're all deviant. Like everybody likes different things, and as
Yeah.
soon as you give everybody a platform to access that, you're gonna see, the true, I've got some pixelated, things doing sexy time on is one of my NFTs too. You know what I mean? For some reason, I just liked it.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? It's crazy what 3 a.m. NFT flipping will do. But
Yeah, a little alcohol and
yeah,
that
some THC
MetaMask
on it.
opens up.
Exactly. The chat's blown up saying what's up, just to let you know.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, sorry, I was working on setting that
oh,
up
no worries,
because
no worries, no worries.
I'm usually really good. I'm like, I from a gaming background and I
Yeah.
watch Twitch, so I know how this works. I should be better. So I apologize,
Yeah.
chat.
But like I said, I didn't get into this to do this. I was video game streaming, and then all of a sudden, I used to work in finance, and so I was Happy, the same guy, was like, "You should stream that Dogecoin that's blowing up. You got some." Next thing you know, I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit! What the fuck? Everyone's here."
So
But-
were you a part of like? Did you do crypto like 5-10 years ago, or did
so
you
I was in
like? Were you just that one?
2017. So I worked in finance in New York in the 2014 through them for like 6 years. And then in 2017, I bought some XRP because my old man was in London and I was in New York, and we both heard about it, like in office from the sales
Yeah.
guy, the rumor going around. So I was like, damn, so Bitcoin's proof of
Yeah.
concept. This is the one that's actually going to get adopted because it's like with the banks.
Yeah. Any
So,
minute now.
and so you already know I bought XRP at the bargain basement prices of $2.99. So
Oh,
I am holding it back since
I
2017.
was in XRP at 30 cents.
Yeah. So my XRP at $2.99. I was lucky to get, chat. I was lucky to get it under $30. Remember that. So I hold my bags for the psychological memories. And so I have that one. And then with my change from my $1,000, I threw $10 into Doge at 0.0015. Wish that would have been a little bit more. And then TRX and freaking some other coins. But like I nailed 2 of the picks with like fuck all money. With like fuck all money. And like the bulk of that bag went straight into XRP. And I was just like, and then actually the funny thing is, in exchange, just like up and janked the Dogecoin too. So I ended up losing. But it's all funny. It's all fun and games.
Yeah.
I still got my XRP.
Yeah, and hey, they're fighting tooth and nail at the SEC, so who knows where that's.
Oh, they'll
gonna
win
go.
that
But,
all day. They'll win that
I
all
think
day.
they will. Yeah, I think they have a strong case, and I
They
still
actually,
believe in the.
they already
use
won in
case.
2015 against a similar federal agency for the same thing. They settled.
So it's just
So it's just a
Yeah,
formality. It really is. I do believe it's a formality. I mean, I don't want to get distracted, but what federal agency is suing a company that you know that is allowed to access every bulge bracket bank and implement a system on the back end, right? There's not many.
Yeah.
There's not many court suits that are going to end badly for those companies, and they give them that access. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree.
but yeah. Man, let's get into VOGU. How did that inspiration come? What light went up? How did NFT come into your life? Let's start right from the beginning.
So, Top Shot. I originally well, hold on. So back, it's even worse because I missed CryptoKitties way back in the day, and I did Tron Dogs. No one, I keep bringing it up, and everyone's like, no one remembers it because it was terrible, but it was like the OG rug pull. So Tron Dogs launched, they pulled the it was terrible, right? So whatever. So I was done with this NFT thing because I didn't understand the use case years ago when CryptoKitties blew up. And Top Shot came back and I was like, okay, I get this. I think this could be mainstream and people won't understand NFTs because they don't need to. They're trading cards. You don't even need to know it's an NFT. So I was like, let me see what they do. And I did okay because if you rode the Top Shot wave, it didn't matter what you do. If you got a pack, you made money. And my wife pulled like a LeBron and made like $10,000. So I'm like, I'm in, baby. Like NFTs all day long. Like a lot of the Top Shot people. Then the Bored Apes came out and all these other projects, and I was like, man, I missed out. Like I bought XRP, but I missed all of the altcoin craze. I didn't hit big in Bitcoin. I didn't save it long enough. I didn't save my Ethereum, and I was like, I'm not missing this again. What can I do to not miss this? And I knew that I had Jason, who's the artist behind VOGU, and I knew he was just an unbelievably talented artist. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we need to do NFTs because the space in the art, the art in the space right now, a lot of people are putting out art that I thought wasn't good. And I was like, Jason, your art's really, really good. It has a ton of detail. Like, I think we could do something different. And that's kind of how that spurred that conversation.
That's awesome. That's very similar to us, actually, in the sense that we Top Shot got our first lick, if you will. We pulled a Stephen Curry out of a group pack. And so we still hold that. I think it's actually worth right now. If we pay $400, someone will take it off our hands. But I'm just kidding. I think it's worth some money, but like
Top Shot's
they prove that supply is important.
Yes, that was a lesson that we all learned.
Because these are essentially just small micro economies, right? They're just small micro markets, and that leads in perfectly as to we've seen the development of the industry from just drop something cool to rarities, the PFP profile industry break up to the AI generated stuff, and now it's kind of getting to the space where it's like, well, what are you doing for us if we hold? Right, because now you have to incentivize the holding in the market because people are doing this for catalysts. Like, oh, we're getting an airdrop of the biker for the bike, or I'm getting this for this, and everybody's looking to find value and do different things and staking, and it's just now you can see the explosion of NFTs into different areas of crypto too, right?
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the thing that I wish that people always talk about community, and community is just so important because I think that's the catalyst for everything. And then this isn't a knock on Bored Ape Yacht Club. I don't want people to say, but everyone talks about how they're like, wow, thank the Bored Ape Yacht Club for giving us stuff for free that is worth a good bajillion dollars. But the reality is, it's like there's a plenty of projects giving people things for free and they're not worth anything. Mm-hmm. And it's not the team's fault. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club's giving you free stuff. The reason they're worth so much is because of you. It's because of the community. So the credit, it's like the Bored Ape team has been great. Like, let's not, like, I'm not, I'm saying it's not against them. But it's everyone, I wish the community would give themselves credit because the reason that those mutants are worth unbelievable amounts of money, what's the marketing push that Bored Ape's doing? Nothing. Like, they have no marketing spend. It's you, the community, that is giving the value to these things. So I wish the community would have like this reflective moment to be like, holy heck, we're powerful. Like, this is us, like, I really think the community should just like reflect on it and like pat yourselves on the back, because it's like the Arizona Iced Tea collab. Yeah. Everyone was like crediting that to Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Bored Ape Yacht Club was like, yeah, cool, Arizona, good. That was a community member.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's sick. Like, can you imagine? Like, this isn't someone part of the team. Like, this person went out, made their own comic book, and somehow got hooked up with Arizona Iced Tea to feed. Like, that's sick. To me, like, that's awesome. Like, that's why I love the community, and I wish more people would like pat themselves on the back and celebrate like how great a job they're doing. Like these there's meetups I get hit every week. Like, oh, are you going to Denver for the Bored Ape Yacht Club meet? Like, and these aren't official. Like, these are just like dudes going out, like making shit happen, and I love that. I think that's awesome.
Oh, like the Discord has allowed that kind of to flourish, right? These communities. Because I tell people, if you don't have Discord, you don't have crypto. You're not doing NFTs, right? That is a metric. It's an intangible metric that you have to check out the community. If something will happen in orders or something, or like a large sale, and you can tell immediately from the Discord why or what is happening, right? And to just cover on what you said, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club is like the goal, right? And what this is essentially, these are Beanie Babies until they're not. Until you hit enough, enough, like you said, certain things have done the same thing and had no value. Because until you have a store of value and people put confidence in it, right? That's why when you see guys sweeping the floor, that's actually not good for the collection because it increases the whales. You don't want that. You want the distribution, right? Yeah. That's why it takes a few weeks for these projects to pop, because it takes time for people to pick and new wallet holders to come in and to hit those magic numbers for serious investors to put in thousands of dollars, right? I'm not touching a collection with less than a third wallet distribution. And so when you get to a point like Bored Ape Yacht Club, where people see, okay, and to be fair, people of a certain economic status are now priced out once it gets past a certain point, right? Once you're past 8 Ethereum floor, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to, you have the money to hold most normally, right? Unless you're
90% of the world, one Ethereum is untouchable.
Exactly. I agree, right?
Like, we forget that, right? It's
so
crazy.
when you say, hey, why are the mutants going crazy? Well, the mutants are going crazy because everybody that holds a Bored Ape Yacht Club is diamond handing $150,000 NFT and knows that of those 10,000 mutants, the other people are in the same position, right? So then the other people minting are paying 2.8, right? So you've guaranteed everybody coming into this party knows the deal. They know at least some level of monetary economics, and you can buy in. And like you said, that's a reflection point on the community that those guys have figured it out, right? They've and you get to that price point, but the whole community can figure that out, right? Like we've done it multiple times from 0.1 up to Ethereum Plus.
Yeah, and it's that they have like that market confidence. Like that's the market. Like you're not gonna sell because you have the confidence within the market that it's gonna stay, and you're not gonna lose value, and the rest of your holders aren't gonna do it. You also, like, the other thing too to think about, like when Bored Ape Yacht Club launched, and someone can correct my numbers, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. But like Bored Ape Yacht Club launched, and there was like 15,000 wallets in OpenSea, right? We launch, and we demolished the 2-week sales for Bored Apes. Demolished them. We launched to 30,000 wallets. So of course we did, right? So of course we did, because we had double the audience, double the buying pressure. On one launches to 150,000 wallets. So you can see, like, when you look at why did these guys, like Bored Ape Yacht Club's the blue chip, but like look at the numbers these other guys are doing. Look at who we're selling to. The audience is so much larger, and that buying pressure is huge, especially sub 1 Ethereum. Once you get to 1 Ethereum, what we did, we hit 1 Ethereum, and then it kind of some profit taking in, and it holds. And that's how a lot of these collections are doing. The next big collection may be launching to 200,000, 300,000 wallets. I'm really curious to what that looks like, because on one was aggressive.
Yeah, very.
So what's this next one going to look like?
And they're compounding, right? And it's that exponential growth, and you always see the same pattern. You've described the perfect pattern, and one of the reasons as a community we actually started getting into VOGU other than Bourbon is you guys have had that drop off, right? Where the distribution was, like we just talked about, and now it's time for people who have them to know they're buying in to okay, now I'll hold this, because here's the deal. You don't buy a 0.8 NFT because you want to sell it for 1 Ethereum. That 0.2 with its gas and fees isn't really worth your time. Right? Yeah. But it is for 1.5, 1.2. So that the margins start to, gap up, and people hold for longer. They buy in. And that's eventually, as a community, that's the decision we made on recently on VOGU. That's why you've seen a bunch of us in the DNN rolling through, right? And so it's getting crazy.
It, thank you.
Oh, no, it's not appreciated. Right? It's confidence, right? We want to make money, right? None of us put thousands of dollars into this project because we want you to feel warm and fuzzy about the art. Let's be straight. Like, I like you as a person, but that's, the real deal is we have faith in it because we like the art. We like the fact that you guys get that, listen, you have to build a community, and that community has to get value, and you know what I mean? And so you guys' names come up in top 5 all the time of like value projects that get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's quick flips, like, different. You can name different collections that like you're going to make a lick on because they are trending and they have a certain number of supply and the right names are pumped. You know what I mean? But then there's ones that are like, hey, we're going to hold this for about a while. You know what I mean? Let's see what this does.
Yeah, and I think that like it comes to, and I don't think there's same as with any kind of stock. Like you're not going to talk junk about somebody who only buys like index funds.
Yep.
You can poke fun at them, but whatever. That's the way that they invest. Cool. It's the same thing with NFTs. Like there's people out here that are buying things because they like the art and they want to collect it and hold it long term regardless. And no one's gonna knock them. There's people who are buying because they want to be a part of the community and to like be really active in the community. And then there's people that are buying to make money as an investment vehicle. And like no one's wrong. Like that's like, sometimes I hear people talk, junk about the different types of investors, and it's like no one's right or wrong. Like we're all investing and buying and trading and collecting for our own reasons. And that's kind of what makes it fun. Because you're like, there's these weird crossover projects where it's like, I'm going to hold this cool cat forever. And you're like, yeah, cool. I'm going to flip it in 2 weeks. But like, you guys agree that it's cool right now and that's fine. But I think that's kind of fun to me to see how many different people are investing in for different reasons.
Yeah. And the other thing is that because of the worldwide nature of it, you're seeing different collections pump at different times. And I say pump, I mean just sales, right? Like you can see quite clearly the sales in Asia on the Asian style of art. And we'll see collections go crazy. You're like, what the fuck? Why are these going nuts right now? And you'll see gas spike at 2 in the morning, or like, in the evening. And you'll be like, oh, look at the art. Look what it is. It's this artist, right? And that's one of the things Bourbon's been great with us is he's super into tracking the more artistic and generative community projects, right? There's for my community, right? Like people who are trying to make from 0.1 to an Ethereum and money. This is pure monetary gain from NFTs. Those people are looking to the PFP is the safest market, right? It's got the known tangibles, the crowns that you can go in there, you can look at the metrics, you can compare it to other. It's really easy to get confidence. But then you start to get into these AI projects and the artist ones, the ones that matter for the guys in the space. And while you see them going crazy when they are picked, when people say, "Hey, this is the guys in the space to go with," it's a lot more risky, right?
Yeah, I follow. I don't know if you guys are just into everything, but it's like I invest in things. I do like the Warren Buffett of NFTs, where it's like I invest in what I know and like what I like and what I feel comfortable with. And that's why like it's like sacrilege, but like I don't think I'll ever buy a CryptoPunk. I just don't. I'm not like a huge pixel art guy, so maybe it's a great investment vehicle, but like I don't care. Like I just don't like pixel art that much. And then like the Chromie Squiggle, like I just don't like modern art. Like I probably won't buy a Chromie Squiggle. Like, but that's terrible advice for people trying to make money because like those might be great ways to make money. But it's just like I don't understand it and it's not my thing, so I'm gonna miss out. Like there's things I'm missing in the space, and I think I don't know. I think it's okay to miss out on some things. Like it's not a big deal.
I don't know about you. I haven't made too many DeFi plays recently. I've been busy. You know what I mean? Like it's totally okay. The industry's so big that right now it's okay to follow the money and focus on what is important to you, and you figure out. Like I said, we're figuring on PFP is pretty much our bread and butter for the general community. And don't get me wrong, we get into the other projects too. What's your take on the new DAO implementation projects? Where these guys are openly saying, "Hey, listen, let's get something going. We'll do these." You've seen the crypto comic, the punk comics. A few of these.
DAO on DAO. It's a DAO of a DAO, and it also has a DAO. I am not like, and maybe I'm not on record. I was gonna say I'm on record as like I'm not the biggest DAO fan. I like here's what I like. I like a community centric project that listens to what the community wants and in the way they move forward. A DAO just gives the community voting rights, essentially, right? Like that's the whole point, is that the community can then vote on it. But like, if I own 65% of the tokens, none of your votes matter because it's on me, right? Like me and my 5 whale friends own 65% of the vote. So it's cool and it sounds like really good, and I think they could be implemented really well. It's not like a selling point to me because it's like, I want to trust the business guys to drive the project forward and to bring value to it. And if you're giving up control of the business decisions, then I now have to have faith in the community to vote for what's right. And I love community, but sometimes we don't know.
Agreed.
We don't always make the right call. So it's harder to believe in a community of 6,000 holders than it is to believe in a team of 5. So that's kind of my thing. I just look at it like a business standpoint. Like I'd rather trust the 5 founders.
It's in theory, it's great in theory, but then somebody has to be in charge. You know what I mean? Like, 100%, I get it. And you've seen them deployed for malice, if you ask me, intent when they guys manipulate floors, right? Like I know a few whales are in DAOs of they met guys on the internet with money and they've put themselves together and they can pick projects. You know what I mean? And a lot of them do it well, and they are open. Like, for example, this is Secret Society of Whales does that, but that's part of their thing, right? They vote on it as a community, and they give them away to the holders, right? That's okay. One thing, they announce it, they do it. It's another thing when you see a guy come in and buy 60 freaking only ones and pump it up to 8 so it crashes the price, right? Because that kills confidence. That's not kosher. Yeah. So, like you say, you want to build a project, like you said, with a community that wants to hold and see what's happening. And one of the metrics we put so much weight into is when it is, like you said, it dropped off, like they all do after the initial hype, because there's so many projects coming into the space, is to go to that Discord. And if they're still chatting when there's 60 sales a day, they're going to be chatting good, solid stuff when it's 100, this is going places. And that's a metric we put a lot of weight into.
Yeah.
We look.
No, and I agree. And that's what it's weird from a project standpoint, because sometimes you get, and they don't always stick around, but sometimes you get a lot of doom and gloom. Like there was people, DMing me when we lost the one Ethereum. And from a business and a forecasting standpoint, I knew at some point we would see profit taking consolidation. And then hopefully the goal was a strong growth and a slow build of unique wallets. So that was like our goal, right? And that's what we're seeing. We're happy with where it is. Obviously, like, I'll take the huge spike of growth any day, right? But what we see is healthy. But other people may not see that because they don't care, because they bought at 0.8 and now it's 0.7 or something, right? So you get a lot of that. And one of the things is just nuts is like the access, because I'm not an anonymous founder, and even the anonymous founders still have a Discord account. So you may not know their name, but you can still DM them. So that access, like, can you imagine buying like a Dell computer and then being able to just like spam Michael Dell all day that it's not good enough? It's that access that you get with the NFT projects is kind of crazy. It's fun, but it is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Oh, you see it within the space right now, right? Like there's a couple guys we're huge fans of, and the spaces has cult-like followings, is Charles Hoskinson and Sam from XDX, right? What is it? Charles is always doing Ask Me Anythings, and Sam is on an interview every 5 minutes in a t-shirt talking about whatever he wants to talk about, being very open about what they're doing, right? And the same thing with, I think a lot of people mess with me. No reason we're number one on Twitch is we're wide open 24/7. If you ask a question, I can't dodge it. I have to say I don't want to answer that. Right, like I used to wear a heartbeat monitor just so y'all could see like how genuine, it's because, and that level of just like, listen guys, let's have a conversation and figure out facts here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that community feel, like you say, an access of just being like, hey, I'm going to send a DM on Twitter. Like me to get you on here. It took Bourbon 2 seconds, right? Like he DMs you, then we say, okay, we're okay, we're going to like it, and we just make it happen, and it's locked in. Like, when could you do that? You know what I mean?
You could do that in another world. Yeah, it's insane. But also, I think. And again, this is like my selfishness. It's like, I think that's how projects should be. Like, I think we should be out there. Like, because whether you're doing art or an investment vehicle, like, you should know the artist. You should know the business guy. Like, I think that should be standard. It's not. And it doesn't mean we all could go jump into like crazy camels tomorrow and make $100,000, and they could be anonymous and rug pull, but we sold and it doesn't really matter to us. So like as an investment vehicle, it's like I could say that to you guys, but you're like, it doesn't really matter to us because we're trying to.
Well, we get pitched that one, but it does matter. It does, but like I say, it matters because you have to have faith in the project. So there's what you'll do. That becomes, when you don't have a project or a roadmap, it becomes an exit scheme. Right, that's what these fundamentally structure-wise, without any project or roadmap or actual way of adding value to holders, they are exit schemes. That's what they are, right? So as soon as you are rug pulled and there's no rug pull, what you're playing is a game of, can I put my cash in the bowl and pull it out quicker, right? And so that brings me
sometimes
like to
you
can. Dude. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you get lucky. Like I sold a glue factory the other day at cost. I can't believe somebody did that, but But I'm gonna say, but the next thing is the question is with these gas fees we're seeing, because I think what NFTs has really done for a lot of people has brought the general IQ of how small Ethereum is. As I said, how quickly a couple mints within close, or even 1 mint now, can completely change over 2,000.
Destroy them. Yep.
And you're seeing other ecosystems explode too, like Solana NFTs. And so I'm just wondering when the first time we're going to see the first project to deploy that. You saw the mutant deployment. Well, how long before they deploy that on another ecosystem for their holders? You know what I'm saying? Or they figure out how to do the cross. The space is exploding in so many different ways. It's absolutely obscene.
And we've been approached by a couple different teams that are building OpenSea-ish platforms that will be like, let's say it's the Binance Smart Chain or Solana, and same, yeah, sorry, it's just that's who we've been approached by. But so they're gonna do
you and everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Solana is better.
Yeah, so they're trying to run dual chain kind of OpenSea things where you can kind of interchange, you can launch on one and they can switch and whatever. So I don't know, they're all there yet, and then there's some that we'll avoid. But and it's not really up to us. Like if you wanted to go and host it on one of these other platforms, it's like we don't really have a say. It's your NFT, and if that platform can technically host it, sell it, transfer it on the Ethereum network, like it's not on me to tell you to not go to that platform. But so I think, and who knows what OpenSea's working on, but like in 5 years, there's probably eBay and they're on 6 different chains, and us as an end user don't know or care which chain it's on. Like maybe, but like it may get to that point. Right now we're all tech, like we kind of become these tech heads, and we need to know and we care about the tech behind it. But if you're talking mainstream adoption, like people don't care about flow when they're on Top Shot.
Yeah.
Like they don't really care.
Yeah.
It's
not at all. Yeah.
Selling cards.
And unless, like you say, unless you're a crypto head that's how one of the reasons we found is just like, flow's going off and that'll be the benefit,
Yeah. So I'm curious because we talk about mainstream adoption, but I don't think mainstream adoption in the NFT world means that we get like 1 million wallets on OpenSea and it's just free for all and we're all making money.
Yeah.
I think it looks like kind of like Top Shot. That's kind of my thing. I think it's gonna.
Well, yeah, Top Shot. The issue with Top Shot is just the supply. I mean, like I said, it triggers me when I hear that. When I see the amount of absolute volume of packs they put out, they just flooded the market for that.
They made the business decision to bring in more people. They had to decide: do I bring value to the current owners or do I bring more users in? And when they're in their meetings getting Series B funding or whatever, right? They're touting users.
Yeah.
They're not touting like, Trackzy came in and flipped a card for $5,000. They're going, we got 300,000 new signups today. That's what they're selling to get $100 million.
Well, because they don't get money from holders.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But the problem they aren't seeing is the resale, the trade volume. That's where it needs to be. It's the actual, and that's where they're trying to cash in, is on their percentage on the back end. If they can get all these users trading these things, even at $5. I mean, you saw Tory Lanez drop his album for $1 each, 1 million NFT albums for $1 each. Well, he didn't do that out of the kindness of heart. That's because they're now trading at $10,000 each, and he got a piece of that every single trade up, right? And he went instant platinum, right? Sell out instant platinum artist, and he's now just watching his wallet grow with every resale. He's not an idiot. All the people that did that is not idiots. And that's just the start, right? Can you imagine if he had done that with a rarity element or a custom art to the cover? I mean, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's like, and think like when Epic Games, like what happens when Epic Game launches their metaverse? What does that look like?
Oh, exactly. And that's where the collabs come for you guys. It's all these different metaverses are going to be scrambling for communities, right? Because marketing is blockchain. Right now, blockchain and crypto is marketing. There will be $1 billion marketing company entering into this space very soon, right? They will figure out that, oh, wait a minute, if you can control the people, you can control which ecosystems go crazy, right? And so you're going to see a lot of these games who are coming out being like, well, wait a minute, if we partner with, I'm just use you guys, VOGU, for example, well, that's 10,000 people who are all into art that's kind of like our style of game. And you know what I mean? And so there's so many opportunities out there for these guys who are looking for communities that are hardcore. You know your community. If you find a community like VOGU, well, every motherfucker who's in that is thousands of dollars into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's some hardcore, you got to be about it.
They're going to follow. And you're going to see It's very much like influencers when Instagram or Twitch got popular. Is brands started to come in, and then you had Twitch and Instagram influencers that they're like, how do I make money off this? And brands are like, how do I approach an influencer? And then that middleman came up, and you have top agencies in the world going, we'll be the middleman, we'll find the brands, we'll represent the influencers, and we'll make the money deals. And so that's going to start happening in the space. You're going to start seeing representation and management groups start to reach out to these larger projects.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you already know. Like, that's going to be the thing. The guy gets discovered, blows up a project, and then some guy gets in the DMs and they take over, you know what I mean? And then you see this commercialization of it. It's happening, right? We are so early in this space that you're seeing week over week problems being solved and problems being discovered. And like we were talking about earlier, this Ethereum hard fork, the London Ethereum, probably when designed in January, February numbers, was fine and would have fixed the problem and bought them enough time for Ethereum 2.0, right? But because of the NFT craze, that Band-Aid they put on it back then just wasn't nothing comparatively to the amount of sheer volume coming in thanks to OpenSea. I mean, you got OpenSea with 36 employees. You know what I mean?
And they were in the basement. Did you see that article?
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Funny. Yeah. So
have you had to communicate much with OpenSea and have much dialogue, or has it been pretty smooth sailing for you guys? Like, you know, their systems work pretty good platform wise.
It's worked fine. I have my gripes. I think that there's no pre-verification for a project, and I just think that if going into it, I would consider a large project about to launch. Like we sold out very quickly, tech issues aside, and all that stuff that was on our side. But like, I would have liked to be able to approach OpenSea, develop a business relationship with them, and say, hey, here's how we're going to launch, validate me, I'm real, this isn't a rug pull, like actual verification, talk to them, here's what our contract looks like, can you verify us on OpenSea before we launch? Because people get scammed, not now, no one's finding a fake VOGU project now. They get scammed day one when it drops and they're looking for deals quickly, and they start sniping things off the floor, and they realize they're buying from a fake account, right? Like a fake collection. So I thought it would be very, very nice for end users and for a project to be verified like on launch day, so that you protect the user on the platform. But that's not their style. They don't have a platform for that verification yet. And even when you get 100 Ethereum in volume and you're supposed to be kind of like half auto verified, it doesn't work, and you have to end up tweeting people from OpenSea before they verify you. And it's just it's a headache for them. Like, why are we adding the head of development for OpenSea to get verified? Like, hire some people. They got to scale. I mean, that's just, they're in that point where they got to scale.
This is an issue.
So I got to do. Give me a sec, Vic. Here, I got to do the giveaway here real quick at 8:30. So it's just here 8:31. Let me get that set up so they can see it real quick, and we'll do the VOGU giveaway. Let me pull the right one up.
But yeah, one of our issues we have with this whole space is that time and time again we keep seeing amateurs in the space doing the setups. Like I don't know if you saw the Bold Badger mint the other day on the Sol network. Just complete clusterfuck. They didn't warn their ISP or their domain at all about what was going to happen. They had 10,000 people try to hit the drop all at once. The entire thing dropped down. Everyone started getting blocked by their domain because they thought it was a DDoS attack. Like it's just complete amateur hour front to back on this, and no one has the tech expertise. No one knows how to do proper delivery.
It's locked,
and
guys.
We just see it.
Here we go. Let me get my time right. So you got 1
here we go,
minute
guys.
from when I do the giveaway. I'm going to start there. We got 1 minute, and then it's next person. It's in chat. So here we go. We'll get my timer right, and we'll go to go. Here we go.
And it's one of the things that it's such low-hanging fruit for people to do better at, especially in this space, and especially when it's a space right now that's so tech-heavy.
Let's do the giveaway. And draw the entrant. Here we go. Sean Apex 75. What we got? I started it. We got 1 minute, Sean Apex. Let me see that name. Sean Apex. VOGU. VOGU. Oh, dude. Oh, no. I gotta announce it. Oh, I can do the announcement. Announce giveaway is closed. Announce. Sean. Don't see it.
Oh, no, he's not here. He's
sleeping. No. I'm still waiting. We got 20. He's got 30 seconds. Uh-oh.
He's on the toilet pulling his pants
up. Oh, dude. Look at chat. I'm trying to read all the chat, trying to keep up, make sure I don't miss any.
I haven't seen his name come up yet.
Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it because we got 15 seconds. 15 seconds, and then Short Apex is going to be kicking himself.
Someone's gonna be mad.
Someone's gonna be mad, and everyone else is gonna be happy.
That's how it goes.
In 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, we're doing it again. Oh, it's done. It's done. Stop. Next. Here we go. Washed Dad. Start it up. Washed Dad. Dude, watch us go for like 50 times.
Yeah, man, this will be fun.
Washed Dad. We got the timer going. Watch Dad. Let's go. There we go.
There he is.
Got him. There he is. Watch Dad. I can announce it.
Nice. All right, let's go, Washed. Welcome.
Hell
to the
yeah, Watch
family.
Dad. Send me a DM. Send me a DM. Watch Dad with your MetaMask, and we'll get that over to you. Here's my address. Me. Click my name. Shoot me a DM with your MetaMask, my friend. Well done. Congratulations. Thanks for playing, guys. We're going to do it again. You already know. We gave out a lion on yesterday. We're going to give out a Rogu today. Who knows what we'll give out? More horses, probably, since I have to breed. All right, let me get this down.
Awesome. Breeding?
Awesome. I mean, we have...
I can't get a dude horse. It's just, I like 30 just females.
So we have in our... So Vic is part owner of a syndicate stable. And it's actually a brilliant talk.
If you want a stallion, I mean, we can talk. I mean, we've got the #1 stats on Zed right now. I mean, not to flex, but you know, we have some of the fastest horses with the best winning times there is.
I've got some horses, so maybe we don't cross paths because I don't want to dilute. Don't let me dilute your blood pool, man. It's cool. I'll just keep. Yeah,
it's all right. We can work something out. We got some glue horses around. We got some alert bike glues we can help you breed with.
Yeah. My thing is like, let me get cool names. Because if you can get a cool name, you'll sell for a little bit above floor. Well, and you make your money and you're good.
Well, just so you know, we did breed John McAfee.
Oh, okay, all right. I've got I don't have any that good. I've like banana taped to wall, and what was the other one that I just bred? I sold Shishi, which is like Chinese it was like Mandarin, I think, for thank you. XIE, it's in pinyin. So that one, I was like, hopefully someone picks up on what that means and thinks it's cool. And I sold that for like double what it should have been sold for.
Yeah, we got super lucky. That was one of our first. That was one of our first real, like, my eye opening to NFTs too. Right, was when we were sitting here looking at Zed, and we kind of held back as a community in the back rooms because we didn't know the algorithm. And when we finally decided to go for it, like, you know, a Z1 obviously is tens of thousands of dollars, right? Those things are expensive. But within 30 minutes, we had a group of 4 guys and a girl, you know, in the back room saying, hey, we can quickly, and internationally, Australia, West Coast, all over the world, you get all over the world, and all of a sudden they're moving money around and making a tens of thousands, 5-figure purchase on a fucking NFT, right? And it does no payment processes, no third parties, just boom, money, boom, let's go, right? Just trust, internet, and let's do this. And, you know, Vic's obviously one of those guys, and he co-owned Firehouse Stables. We were lucky enough, just to finish that story out, to breed with one of their Z1, and I just by accident lucked into racing a race, and right before they cut off the odds, we now have the lowest raced horse odds. So she's currently available 35 Ethereum, a bargain, if I might say so myself. But yeah. So if I had asked you, so your vision from where you started with VOGU, where you saw this starting and you saw the plan going, to where you are now, how deviated are you from where you envisioned yourself now at this point? I mean, I'm sure you didn't envision yourself being the number 3, probably 4 or 5 project listed in everyone's mouths on OpenSea, right? Because everybody that comes in here has got your name in their mouth as one of the top projects, right? So how does that deviate from where you envisioned yourself if it had gone well? You know what I mean? From the beginning.
Yeah, boy, I wish I was one right now.
Right.
Yeah. No, I always like it's funny because like in the back of my head, I can be very pessimistic where it's like, it's not going to work out. We're not doing enough. And like you see the weekly figures and we're not selling as much as some of the other ones. But I'm always aiming really high. Like I want, like, my vision for success, like we're on point, I think, for growing our community. Our community is starting to get more and more involved. We just brought in Freelon Musk, who's going to help us with some of our community engagement, running poker nights. We're having this like whole D&D session that's starting up, and like we're finding things that the community wants to do. So I'm super interested. Yeah, someone likes D&D. He's like, oh, D&D.
Yeah.
So I think like that stuff's going to be really, really fun, and that's hopefully bringing some people. You don't have to own a VOGU. You may just be a D&D head. So like jump in, and it's going to be kind of like VOGU-ish lore, and it's going to be part of our extended world. And my biggest thing inside the NFT, we're doing great. Like the wallets are going up. The wallets are going up. That's great. Let's bring in some hype. Let's get that going. Companion drop's going to come. Hopefully that brings some more eyes, some more wallets. We're hoping to get over 3,000 users, which would be close to 50% by companion drop or right after. That would be huge. That's like my goal. Really, it's outside the space. Like I need to make. That's where I'm trying to make some movement is outside the space. And
I agree, and that makes me happy to hear that.
Yeah, like that's where I need to show that we can deliver on the IP side on some mainstream stuff. But when you're aiming high, it's like it's not like NFT where like anyone in the space right now, like the Crypto Cities collab that we did, right? That's like I DM Kai, their lead, and I'm like, bro, let's do something. Sure, what do you want to do? like it's that simple, right? Like there's so many people in the NFT space that I can just reach out and be like collab, and they're like, yeah, let's do it, right? And I'm getting hit up every day for collabs within the space. So like that stuff to me is kind of like easy, low hanging fruit. Like we can make it work. There's some really cool ones. There's some ones that like we've done that maybe it's not hitting for both of the collections as much, but it's the outside world where it's like, hey, let's do something with you, and they're like, okay, well, RVP's available in 2 weeks. And you're like, that's 7 years NFT time. Like I cannot make that work. But you have to separate, and I have to have this like real world business head and NFT business head, and just like focus and go, if I want a splash, I have to wait 2 weeks. I have to meet with the VP. I have to have that. I have to explain to somebody why NFTs are cool, why our NFT is good. But where our strength is, I'm a film guy. I'm a business guy. Jason's a film guy. When we sit at the table with certain businesses and certain entertainment companies or certain representation, we're all speaking the same language. So I'm hoping that that's a strength that we have that other groups may not. Because a lot of these other guys, I don't know a lot of their backgrounds, but like I don't know if they can sit at a table with top industry people and have a conversation that I can have at the level that we can have it. So that's I'm hoping is our strength. But who knows? Splash attack. Did someone say splash?
Yes.
He was waiting, like, yes, finally.
Washed Dad won the giveaway. Washed Dad won the giveaway. I just sent that out. I just DM'd me. So he's jacked to the tits, as he should be.
I'd say based on experience, you're probably correct. The advantage you have is that ability to talk at a certain business and technical acumen level that most completely lack. Like I have people in my DMs from other collections that I've been helping advise on, and lots of them are like 1-2 man shows. They're completely swamped. They're like, I had no idea it was like this. I didn't know about Discord. I have no idea about tech. I just like to draw. Like, I'm completely overwhelmed. I have no idea about the business lingo. I have no idea how to do a drop. I have no idea how to like keep this going, how to build a community. And they're just lost. They're like, oh, we just need help. We just need people and bodies. And like, I don't even want to talk to business people. Like, I'm getting hit up by business offers and collabs, and I want nothing to do with any of it. I just want to go and draw and be left the fuck alone and be told when I need to have the drawings done by.
No.
That's why I locked Jason in the basement to just do the art. He doesn't want to deal with any of this stuff. Like, he's just hiding. But that's true. Like, that's how it is. And I think that's why there's a space for managing. There's a space for consulting. Like, they need help. And launching one of these projects is somehow like the easiest and hardest thing that a lot of people do. Like, we'll talk about like 3 Russian guys can launch 20 projects, and it's the easiest thing for them because they got it. They can launch 20 of them. But then it's like one artist from like Milwaukee or from South Africa is struggling to get anything going because they don't understand it. They just know how to make good art, and they don't know how to do the community. So it's a weird space. It can be easy and it can be difficult at the same time, which is a complete contradiction, but it's just how it is.
For sure. Have you seen? I mean, we've seen with the on ones, we've seen a lot of like derivative projects that like, and obviously with the penguins, you see a lot of that. You haven't seen that too much of the Is that more? Do you think a testament to the uniqueness of the art and the fact it's complex and hard to knock off, if you will?
We were literally just talking about that. Yeah, we were literally like, wait, where's all the VOGU ripoffs?
Yeah.
you know.
Like all other
But
projects aside have ripoffs, all of them.
have ripoffs. Yeah. And there's been other robots, like maybe they are like maybe the other, but it's the robots. Like robots are cool. Other people can do
Yeah.
robots, and like we don't really care if someone wants to go and kind of like rip off VOGU, because you're just, to us it's like it's that like you'll
Yeah.
never beat VOGU.
It's
So
homage.
go ahead and try. Yeah, but and it's kind of cool that it hasn't happened, because like one of our selling points is we're unique.
Mhm.
If 30 other VOGU looking robot projects come out, like maybe we're not so unique. So I'm glad it hasn't happened. But it's cool that it hasn't. I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm with you. It's like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, man. Like I don't know. So we'll take it as a good thing. But like we have our own community members that are doing like just ripping out remixes
Oh,
and like doing just sick
so
stuff.
the community
like,
aspect
really
of this, I'm sure you have it the same with us, right? Like, so we have a Discord, and we've obviously been at this for about 7 or 8 months now. And the people that reach out randomly from the community, just from the skills, the connections, just the people who are just, hey, yeah, I'm down to do this, let's help. Or like, if we do a giveaway, like say, Bourbon gave away that VOGU. That wasn't me, you know, if I and Steve gave the line, I say to do a giveaway, and I can't give something away. This community, the community aspect of crypto and NFTs and blockchain, I think because of what it represents, it's just, people are just trying to help everybody. Right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's some bad actors out there. We see them, right?
Yeah.
But then immediately we clump together like this, find groups to help each other, and say, hey, come ask us first, and find a trusted source. And I think, like you say, it's really helping these projects to discover their own identities, because it's the constituents, they go in a direction that their network allows them to, right? So you see, it's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it's like super it's super unique, and I love it. I think it's like part of the reason I love the space is the community. I think that's why we're all, I mean, like, we all came, like a lot of us came for the money and stayed for the community. Like I think that's
Mhm.
kind of like how it kind of worked. But there's nothing like it, and I don't know. Obviously I'm enjoying it, right? Like
Yeah.
VOGU's going well, and I was able to like quit the day job, and now this is my job, and it's been an absolute blast, and I hope I don't ever have to do anything different ever again.
Have you had the
I bet we
moment
all
yet?
have that. I bet we all have that dream,
Have you had the moment yet where you're talking to someone in the DMs, but I cannot believe I just had a conversation with that person about this? Like, in your DMs or anything like that, where you've like, because I know I have already. I've already had a couple blue check marks where I'm like, I cannot believe I just had a serious conversation where I added to that person's life. I've seen that person for a while. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've had that kind of interactions, because you've obviously blown up, massively.
So like, yeah, we're like, I'm having conversations at a level that like you would dream of.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it happens so fast that you're
And
just
so
like,
are you settled into that yet, or are you still kind of coming out going, wow, okay, so I got to kind of.
No, I'm like and it's like, I'm not trying to like be pretend that I'm overconfident, but it's just like, because I came from the entertainment world, I've dealt with celebrities, and I've dealt with some very big people like who talk big and whatever, and so that allure is gone. So like people like Ja Rule, like everyone's like, dude, Ja Rule's tweeting. I was like, cool,
He was in my
man.
DMs the other day.
You're like, yeah, it's and like for me, it's like I work J. Cole music videos, and I've been like, so it's just like, it's like, cool, man, yeah, tell Ja to reach out. And people are like, but it's Ja Rule, and I'm like, dude, he's probably a cool dude. Like, it's like, I'm not trying to be like overly cool, but it's just like, I'm kind of comfortable with that, and I know that these are, once you get into it, you're like, this is rad. But then you start talking to Ja, and you're just like, oh, he's a cool dude. And then you get to know him, and you're like, these guys. So you get to kind of like, I'm kind of comfortable with it. I guess probably because I had 5 years of like that, like, holy crap, I'm on a movie with these people. Like, I can't believe that. I did props. So like sometimes you're like walking up and you're like handing, like some really dumb stuff. Like you're handing like a vibrator to like a big guy from SNL, and you're like, I can't believe I just handed this guy a vibrator. Like, what is my world right now? Like, what kind of job am I doing? Like, but that was what was so fun about film. So I've kind of had that. And then the other part of it is like how friggin' fast this is. I haven't had a time, like I haven't had a day, and I'm like moving apartments, so it's like even the weekends or the day off, I'm back and forth between apartments carrying furniture up steps, and so like I haven't had a day where you just sit down and then you're like, whoa, like that just happened. You know, like
Yeah.
I haven't had that yet.
And you don't have
Hopefully.
any yet. Again, you don't have any ahead. You got a lot of days of busyness ahead of you. So
Yeah,
it's
and like, and that's I'm trying to like kind of like with Bored Apes, like when they came out, like this big sale for them, like you
yeah,
strike while the iron's hot as a lot of
yeah,
this stuff. So it's like there's a window that we have, and we don't know how long that's going to be open. Like we'll be here in 2 years, but it's like how hot is the space? Are these big names talking to us in 2 years?
hmm
Or do we have this 6-month window to talk to them? You know? And so I see that urgency and I'm trying to take advantage of it. So it's like there's no time to sleep right now. Like it's what's the all gas no brakes. Like that's the
yeah.
where we're at right now. And
Oh, I hear you.
I'm trying to get the wheels on the bus and let's go. Let's go now because it's happening. And
Yeah,
we see it in the NFT space. Like I'm thank you so much for considering us like a top 5 project and all that stuff. But like if you look at volume for the last 7 days, we're not a top 5 project
yeah. No, I got
because
you.
there's
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
projects
It's too
that are
expensive.
Mhm.
It's too
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
yeah.
You price
So
yourself out of the market.
right,
Well,
yeah.
everyone's
So
it's
there's
just yeah. And so
yeah,
it's where it's now you're at that point where you're just accumulating. You're finding the investor
we're doing
level
this
of that.
slow growth.
Exactly,
Yeah, and
exactly.
that's
Right.
fine.
So you're finding the price
But
point of people who find value at that point. Right. Like I said, there's
yeah,
certain people who at point one, that jump from point 1 to point 8 one Ethereum, that's so much actual money in their lives that they have to take that. Right. After a while of sitting
yeah,
around. And so then you and
absolutely.
that's a natural process of an order book, right? That's why it has to happen, right?
Yep.
And it looks like now that process is actually coming to an end for you guys as you have an uptick. But you know what I mean? That's you're hoping.
Yeah,
But
and like that's exactly what you're saying. Like that's what we're hoping.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's what we're trying to build.
And like you say, and
towards.
these conversations where you acknowledge what APL Club's doing and see, like, listen, you got to strike while the iron's hot. Well, people who are listening who own these now are sitting here feeling warm and fuzzy, you know, and these guys get it, right? These guys get it. If I'm going to hold my VOGU, because these guys are working behind the scenes and I know that. So I'm not going to worry about it, you know what I mean? I'm not going to worry about listing it. I'm not going to worry about pudging. We call it pudging when you're flipping, just because it was our first flip, you know, pudgies. So
That was if you got a good flip, that was a good flip
yeah,
for sure.
well, dude,
Yep.
we found those. I found those at 0.012, and like literally had them open for tabs for days. You know, and you're talking to a guy who bought 3 fast food punks off Mint and sold them under $600. And Ape Gung. Like I paper handed everything at the beginning of this thing. I was one of those guys who takes the offers. I woke up and got an email and was like, oh my god, it's done what? I can get what?
Yeah.
Accept. You know what I mean?
Holy-
Didn't even look at the floor.
Jesus
Just-
Christ, Trackzy.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, Trackzy.
I come through, man.
Taxi, bro. You didn't have to do that, dude. What are you doing?
I come through. This is what we do.
Like a man,
It's
dude.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
the
it.
family, of course.
It's actually
Yeah,
a Solana drop.
I had a pudgy penguin that was the only. There was like one of like 4 that was the superhero mask
Oh, yeah.
and the superhero chest, and I sold it for like 1 Ethereum or something.
Well, I can make you feel
I was
better.
like, I was bragging like I'm a god, dude. I got a pudgy penguin at 1
dude.
Ethereum. You all idiots for holding. I
did the
felt
same
great,
thing.
man. I felt great.
I did
Okay,
the
so
same
we
thing. I took 0.99, immediately took that and flipped it for the best investment you've ever seen into a glue factory. And that glue factory is not really doing anything. So,
We were the smartest men in the room for at least a day.
yeah.
So now, do you get that fear of loss as soon as you sell? So we get that a lot now, where we sell and then immediately 20 minutes later we're like, oh fuck, we need to get back in.
Yeah.
We're out. We need to get back in. How are we getting back in?
Yeah, I try. I don't, and I can't. Like I
You're
just
Because you
too
got
busy
that
now.
VOGU money. It's because you got
Yeah,
that VOGU
Yeah,
money.
you got that VOGU, exactly, right? You got that VOGU money now.
Yeah.
You're a holder. You're a hodler.
Well, I also it's like and it's the same thing with stocks and crypto, because I learned this would be like Bitcoin, because I bought Bitcoin when it was 200, sold it when it was 2000, bought it when it was 600, sold it at 4000. Like I went with that with Bitcoin, and I just kept watching after I sold it. It kept going, right? And I had to tell myself, take profit. It's healthy. If you needed the money, you needed the money. Like, and that's okay. Like, I sold my Bored Ape at 10 Ethereum when the floor was like 8, right?
Okay.
And it helped bankroll this project.
Yeah.
Like it paid for accountants and it paid for lawyers.
A lot of us in the same position with what we're doing right here with the DNN. I totally get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just like we'll never take that back. Like, do I have is it the Wolverine meme where I'm like petting the Bored Ape picture and I'm like, man, I kind of miss it some days. Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know?
We have a Fireman Steve has a saying here. Fireman Steve, one of our bigger personality, he has a Steve. It's profit's profit. It does not matter. Profit's profit, right?
I'm right
it's
here,
just,
actually.
oh, there you are, Fireman Steve. There you go.
I agree with you, Steve.
Hey,
Profit
Steve.
is profit, and you have to just you just have to take it sometimes.
And then I also say greed is the greatest enemy. Because the
I agree.
more greedy you become, the worse it becomes for you.
Yeah, I was not greedy with Top Shot because I was in Cool Cats and I had it completed. I had that set completed, and I lost complete faith that Roham and company were ever going to build value into Cool Cats collection. And I got out and I made like $400 on the whole set.
Mm-hmm.
And like 4 days later, it crashed, and I would have lost half of my money. So I was like,
Yep.
that sometimes that happens, sometimes it doubles, and sometimes it's a penguin, and sometimes it's Cool Cat. You know, the Cool Cats collection. So you don't always hit, but yeah.
Well, that comes into where I think saying you don't buy, like earlier you said, I don't buy things I don't like, right? Like, I can't lie, I didn't like those things. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it is, and then there's certain collections, like I said, we rate the PFP thing on a rate from 1 to 10, and then there's a caveat: do women like it? Would they use it as their profile picture? You have to ask these questions about these things, you know?
Yeah, it's
about
still 10% of the market or so. You know, it's like I know we say it's a small percentage, but it is like 10%.
It's the most fanatical.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, everyone in chat likes kitty butts.
So we got a couple of questions from chat here. If you
slam them at me.
So chat's been asking, since you guys both have a film background, is there any hope in the future that there's going to be a VOGU film?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just what does that look like? So,
well, this is the question, right? What would you do? Is it the becoming of VOGU? Is it your guys' rag to riches story?
Yeah.
Is it the community?
No, so there's a couple ways to get like a film made. Like, one, you just bankroll it, and try. If we made $90 million, I'll tell you tomorrow, like, that movie's coming out. You know, like if we pulled that, I'm like, movie's coming out tomorrow, and like Tom Cruise is in it. You know, so like it costs about $1 million.
He's playing you. He's playing you, right?
Yeah. Somehow I'm in the movie, and it's just like a real, like, it would be so terrible. But no, like I want to build a movie based on our IP, and I feel with my existing connections and people that I could instantly call tomorrow, we could put together like a 10-15 minute like CGI short film. I could probably execute that. It would take some like war chest funds. Like, I'd need to probably wait for some royalties or wait for the companion money, you know, to really execute it at the level I want. But I feel like that could happen. The other way to do it is to go and you hire a writer and possibly a director or a director writer, however you want to do that. And you get them to start to write the script. And then at one level, you take the script and you're shopping it. So you're knocking on doors trying to get people to look at that script, and then you get them to agree to buy it. The big way to do it is you start attaching people to the script. So you get a writer to write a good script. You get a director that says he's on board, that has like an amazing IMDb page that's like legit and made $100 million films, and you get him on board to say he'll do it. You could potentially get an actor, an actress, or a voice actor, or a CGI guy, or someone else to kind of sweeten the deal. And then you go for bids. So then you go Universal, Disney, you know, whoever, you go to them and say, what would you pay for this? What would you give us? Think about the VOGU universe. And we're not just pitching the literary like lore and the fact that it would make a great movie. We're pitching merchandise. So it's a bigger sell. So the first thing that we're going to be trying to do is to kind of go to these, like, Netflix, like go to Netflix, go to Disney. Like, I want to be bidding. Like, I want the bids. Like, that's where I want to be at. So we're working with partners and ways to facilitate getting bids and attaching big names to it. I have my own people that we could reach out to tomorrow to make something, whatever that would look like, a 10-minute short film or something like that. So I feel very confident we could execute some sort of like media device where we could tell a story. I'm trying to do it I'm trying to do.
I mean, if I'm being
so in
honest,
your
the
mind,
best
then-
partnership I see for y'all is a metaverse design clothing kind of like a appearance in the new video game of some kind. If the guys aren't reaching out to y'all, that's the low hanging fruit, and it should be them reaching out to y'all, right? Obviously I love you being proactive. If they're not, boo on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
because it's just a really easy low hanging insert with NFT. I mean, it's just a done deal. You know what I mean?
I know.
The clients
I
already
agree.
know. Like, I even have 3 in mind that I was like, man, if they haven't reached out to y'all, like, come on now. You know what I mean?
I know. Small Greens picked up on the like 1% Italian in me, where I talk with my hands.
Yeah, like I said, I do the same thing.
Yeah, I sit there and I do this all day.
Yeah, we're all hand talkers here. It's all good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
how the space rolls.
I do. I have a buddy in Italy, and I liked visiting Italy because I just fit in there. Like in America, everyone's like, "Dude, your hands, like, relax." In Italy, everyone's screaming at each other with their hands.
Yeah.
But no, the like,
So you're looking at like Neil Blomkamp and Hans Zimmerman then for the movie.
right? Yeah, like that's who you like.
Low hanging
and
fruit, cheap.
I have like
Well,
this guy that's been like advising on like the business side and just helping out and stuff. And like the best thing he said, which was, it's so true, but it was kind of funny. But he was like, he goes, 2 weeks ago, you know, we'll say Neil Blomkamp or like George Lucas. Like George Lucas wouldn't talk to you 2 weeks ago. This week, I don't know, like he might.
Yeah, well,
Like-
Visa might call. Right, exactly. No, you're not wrong,
But
right?
and you're like, oh yeah, oh wait, yeah, that's insane. Like it's
I
just
said that-
insane.
Yeah, I said something very similar to that. Someone came in and said, this is all over, the NFTs are about to pop, and they give tweets of these influencers saying the bubble's about to pop. And I'm like, well, how about this? Stephen Curry bought one Bored Ape, and a couple of NBA guys bought them this week. If you know anything about pro sports, if there's 2 teams or 3 teams with a one guy in there that's got one, guess how many are gonna? Every single team will have a guy. And then
The whole
I was
locker
like,
room's
you
got it.
have 3 Fortune 500 companies who have picked up Bored Ape or CryptoPunks or some sort of NFT, right? Can I get at least 10% of the Fortune 500 before we pop? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many indicators that actually this isn't just the beginning. Like, if you look at the search metrics for NFT and non-fungible tokens on Google, they're not that high. If you look at all the metrics of these guys getting in, it has just begun. And that's scary because we're already making a lot of money very quickly, right? And so that is very scary.
And are we going to run into the
Yeah.
supply issue, right? Like, are we going to run into
exactly.
the top shot supply issue? And that's okay, because then you're looking at where is the money, the blue chips, where is it going to all consolidate in Bored Apes? Is it going to consolidate in VOGU? Like, who's going to be the staying ones when everything's just a flip and there's just too much of everything else? But like, the other thing, and this is, I've been like a selling point leading into it, is securing your IP legally, because, you know, Universal Pictures, Visa, their lawyers are going, even Arizona Ice-T, their lawyers are going, what is the IP? Like, what does Bored Ape own? What can we market with Bored Ape? I can just buy an ape for $10,000 and then use it forever, and I never have to pay Bored Ape money. Okay. Right? Like, can we? Like, are we going to get sued? Like, that's what Visa buys a CryptoPunk, and they're like, if we use it in a commercial, are we going to get sued? That's what they care about. Because they don't, like, $100,000 for CryptoPunk is nothing for Visa.
No.
So if they,
It's chump change.
Jump change for Visa, they don't care. But if they can now use that in a commercial and never have to pay Larva Labs, but can they? Like, they don't know yet. People don't really know. Like, it hasn't been written. Like, it's just a huge gray area right now on what that looks like. And I think people are trying to, like, these companies want to dive in. Like, you know, I'm sure Nike and Adidas and like Puma, like, they all want to get in. But my guess is that their lawyers are like, you know, pump the brakes. Can we? Like, what does it look like? Do we license? And then, like with Bored Ape Yacht Club, like, if we license their name and their likeness, what if we use someone's ape and they own the ape and then they sue us? So it's really a great area, and I think that's scaring companies right now from big time partnerships. So I think it's on our job.
And you just nailed another industry that's exploding, right? Blockchain and NFT, IP, law firms. Right? Accounting firms, CPA. Like, I tell these guys all day, right? Like, a lot of them are coming into life-changing money for the first time and have never heard the word, the acronym CPA. And I'm like, listen, it's not good enough just to pick a CPA or highly ranked on Yelp anymore, because that guy is probably 50-something years old and he's highly ranked because he knows a lot about the current system. It's like, you need guys who you can test with crypto questions that you know the answers to, right? Like Vic did. Vic went and saw 3 different CPAs when he was picking us out, right? With questions he knew the answers to. You have to kick the tire. And just like you say, it's hard for these guys, these Fortune 500 companies. They call up their law firm. They don't have an answer for them off the bat. They pay a retainer fee. These guys are going to now go talk to another law firm, pay that consultation fee for that law firm to tell them what they need to go tell their client, because they're not losing their client and letting them know they don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're seeing.
Yeah. It's true.
So, I mean,
No, it's super. Yeah, it's dead on.
So a question for you on the inside. So like this whole issue about like IP and usage and like licensing, you as a man on the inside who represents VOGU, how do you want to see that develop? How do you want to see that like come into being?
Yeah, I think that there needs to be just an agreement between the community and projects on like what it looks like, because I think the value for the community isn't necessarily being able to take your ape, put it on a t-shirt and sell it, because you're not going to be making six figures selling your ape on a t-shirt. Most likely, like most people probably don't want to buy your ape, or a picture of your ape. But the value is just that like you can put it on your shirt and like wear it and rock it, or pay someone to do a derivative of it and make it look really, really cool. Like I always want the community to be able to do creative things with their NFTs. So
I saw the 3D render of the VOGU. I saw the 3D render. You know what I'm saying today?
Yeah,
I saw that today.
that's
It's sick.
amazing, right? From like Tony Lopez Media did it, and like he's done them, and a couple other people. But like I always want those guys like and girls to be able to do those kind of really creative things. I always want to empower creators. That's just like my thing. So I want them to be able to do that. Where it comes into the gray area is when we launch a VOGU movie. Are they able to just take their VOGU and launch their own movie?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that would hurt. Like that, we don't want that, because that would hurt. And
Yeah.
Universal's going to ask that. Universal's going to say, can they go and just make their own movie? So there's like these weird things. And like when you buy physical art and you buy the Mona Lisa, can you go make a Mona Lisa movie because you own the art? Can you make a T-shirt? Like those
Can
are
you sell
things that like
prints?
no one
Yeah,
asks.
exactly. Yeah.
Like no one really asks that in the traditional world because they don't care. That's not a part of it. But NFTs, like
Now they're worth
that's the
150
part of the
grand.
world
Those
now.
questions come.
So then you're looking more something like there'd be a smart contract for the community where perhaps someone can license the IP, they can use any of the likeness of any of the VOGUs, and then the community as a whole gets a payout from some percentage of that royalty fee.
Yeah, that could be like, and that's
Yeah.
the problem that those kind of things I try to avoid, because you run into securities issues where
Yep.
you're like
Yep.
really
100%.
tying.
Yeah,
100%.
really.
So that was
You're
like
exposed to when the legislation changed, you have to change. You're good right now, but not
Yeah.
for how long, right? Agreed.
Yeah, so-
you see
and
in the other
that's,
discords when they skirt that line, they even use, hey,
Yeah.
we call it this, and then a cute word, and because they know what they're doing, right? Everybody knows what we're doing, but let's not at least blatantly put it in the SEC Togoloshi's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Voxo Deus, who is one of the first like programs or projects that I was involved in, and the lead over at Voxo is really, really good at like helping advise and help me when we first started. So I owe a lot to that project. And they ran into a really, really big issue because they had planned on lifetime royalties to be split up. Now, mind you, it's like you're probably looking at like $6 a month, if that. Like it really wasn't a big deal, but they had said it and everyone had bought and invested because there was lifetime royalties. Well,
Mhm.
they got a better lawyer after they sold out, and he was like, do not do that. Like, did you get anyone to agree to a terms and conditions before they signed? No. Well, then you're screwed. Like, go turn it back. Like, you cannot do it. You're going to have to change it to a reward or a giveaway or a challenge. Like, you're going to have to word it somewhere else. Do not use royalties. And it like deflated that project for like a good month. Like, and they're still just starting to recover now. But like, people were pissed.
Yeah.
Because they were promised royalties, and the truth is they can't provide it, because then you're just going to get securities, and then you're going to get crazy regulation and stuff. So you have to be careful, like, because you can't pivot. You can't.
And the second
overpromise.
OpenSea smells something like that, they're going to say goodbye.
OpenSea is going to protect themselves. Yeah, and that's like there's been, and I think we've seen
36
like
people. Good luck trying to get reinstated. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the sheer volume.
Yeah, they're not like their lawyers are gonna say pull the plug. I don't like any
Yep.
gray area for OpenSea. Their lawyers are gonna tell them pull the plug. There was what was it? The guy that had like kind of he like, what do you call it? Where you sit on like a domain for a while to perch or poach or whatever.
Domain squatting.
Oh, yeah.
Squatting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he
We do
squatted
that.
on the mutant. Yeah, it was Mutant Ape. He squatted on Mutant Ape Yacht Club. He had Mutant Ape Yacht Club. He started the collection for Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and then OpenSea just pulled it from him
Yeah.
and gave it to the other guys, and he was making a stink. But it was like, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, this isn't decentralized, and everyone was kind of complaining, and it's like, it's not decentralized.
Yeah, this is a
Like,
platform you
it's
choose to
not.
use.
Like, it's open sea, and they've got
Yeah.
lawyers, and you're gonna lose. Like, you're up against a team that's about to make $90 million.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna lose that. It's not like domain squatting where you can kind of win that battle. You're gonna lose against Sport Ape Yacht Club on OpenSea. Like, they're not gonna
Yeah.
side with you. Oh, everyone's going on with the Soul Bears. So is that the
Yeah.
that's the Sol-
That's the drop that just took place. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
How,
pixel art
how
bears.
is that chain going?
Good,
Really well,
very
man.
good.
Really well.
Yeah.
Like to the point
They need-
where Sol, you literally see the price of Sol and sales spike with the gas of Ethereum. It's purely just pumping.
Over it. I'm going over here. That's a lot of that.
Yep.
Nice.
I can take my talents to Soul Beach. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people and you know we play
I
both
do
of
like
them.
that.
There's no
that
reason.
beer is good.
Yeah. So
Right, isn't it Sol? Isn't SOL a beer? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Soul,
yeah,
Soul's
yeah.
a beer.
Yeah.
There should be a collab there. There should be a collab there. You're 100% correct.
Yeah. Who did the skull candies? The craniums?
right?
Right? Someone
yeah.
did a skull candies collab. I thought that was brilliant. Right? Because it was craniums, they were skulls, that was their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that's brilliant. Like, that was so great.
Yeah. Like I said, is
So
there any projects
I'll
that
look into Selenium. It's hard enough to find an Ethereum smart contract debt,
man,
to be
like
honest,
that we
man.
we
So-
were being on that since $20. You know what I mean? It's now
Yeah.
110. That and we've known it. That is a
Well-
really like you've got a couple projects like Star Atlas, Metaverse coming out. Like there's some huge projects coming out in that ecosystem. Their speed of
Wow,
transaction is
okay.
next level. I mean,
Okay.
I would suggest you start with Phantom Wallet. It's like a MetaMask for them.
Okay.
And it really you can start messing around and it's a good ecosystem when gas is high.
So in our lore, when I picked Tezos as the third, it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tezos. I should maybe rewrite the lore to Selenium.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, Selenium's going to be around. She's a real banger.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at transactions per second,
Yeah.
you're talking around 80,000 right now for Sol, and they have the scalability to go up to about 750 to 1 million transactions per second.
Wow.
It's
And the fees, the gas
is-
fees, you're talking like $0.00025 US dollars
Yeah.
per transaction.
Wow.
I think it's
All right.
actually a lot less.
And
He's like, and even less than that, actually. So
Much less.
nice.
yeah.
All right,
And Jesse's an Ethereum farmer. You know what I mean? So and he's doing his stuff on
I
Solana.
don't even like Ethereum anymore. This is the thing. I don't even like it. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But you said you've been having issues finding someone to actually help you with your smart contracts for Ethereum?
It's a lot easier once you sell out. Then people
Yeah,
will talk.
go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before you're just a dude with an idea like everyone else,
Yeah.
and the names like the big guys don't talk to you.
Yeah.
Big guys still probably wouldn't talk to me, but like because they're just they're doing their own thing.
Busy.
But but like the like we're doing the next drop with West Coast NFT. Who's part of the Punks Comics group and everything, like spun
Yeah.
off from West Coast and left like proteges behind to do some stuff, and they've been like great to work with. It's the same time zone, and it's just been really, really good communication and stuff. So we'll see how that goes, but it looks like a pretty good. They're into making partnerships and doing the long run and all that kind of stuff. But like, they're busy. They've
Yeah.
got
Yep.
projects every week. And it's
Mhm.
just like so, and I'd love to potentially find someone that I could bring on full time that I knew could do everything we want to do. But it's just hard. Like I tried to interview and hire a full time guy, and it was just like flake after flake after flake, or like and nothing against Russian devs. Like you just get Russian devs that couldn't really communicate, and you weren't really sure what their background was. Like so, there was like
Yeah.
stuff like that where it was just communication language barriers and
Yep.
things like that, and so it was just very difficult to start to find devs at all. And I like luckily I had connections with some ex Google devs, and they all asked around and finally found someone for me. But most people don't have those connections. Like if you're just a person or just an artist, like it's hard to find someone.
Well, it's one of the fortunate things in our style of community because we're forward facing on Twitch. We have videos out on YouTube and we're
Yeah.
trying to just grow the community and just help everyone out. We have people hitting us up all the time like, "Hey, I do Sol, I do Rust, I do
Yeah.
this, I do that, I do Haskell.
Awesome.
Like if you need
Yeah.
help, let me know. I do back-end web design, I do full stack web development, I do, front page, IPVFS, like so, I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
we have
so-
a ton
yeah.
of resources and people just want to get involved and they just want to help and
Yeah.
they just want to make the connections on good projects where people want to grow the communities and have that like solid
Yeah.
foundation of like,
Yeah.
let's grow something and make it work. And we don't need to like scam people. We don't need to rip people off. Let's just make a quality product that everyone enjoys.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what's I like this better than like the token craze because I felt like the token stuff was a lot of like let's sell our backs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so
Well,
bummed out.
I got to ask you right now. So how much did you pay for that frame?
$600. Well, this one might be a little. This might have been 1,200 because I might have went with the bigger one. I don't remember, but it's not super expensive compared to like the NFT specific ones. So this is
Yeah.
the Netgear mural.
Okay. Yeah, because
So
we have some
it's-
plans to make one of those ourselves, which is
Okay.
It's the
basically
Raspberry
with a
Pi
Raspberry
smart
Pi.
mirror.
Yeah.
The Raspberry Pi smart mirror is just.
And we can make them for like $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of the NFT specific ones that people are trying to market to,
Oh,
Two
it's so-
Shot, or
Yeah.
they're very
It's crazy.
expensive,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
and
Yeah.
they're like pre-orders with no date.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
no vaporware. It's just like, well, what do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it when you give us the money. And it's
So
like
this-
I've seen the watch ones, and it's just an iPhone watch. Where you're just like, okay, so they're just gonna, like,
Yeah, and this one was like I ordered it, came in 2 days.
Yeah.
For like
cool. That's-
it was,
yeah.
I was talking to Pizza Later Seth, who joined our team as one of the artists, and he's like, yeah, I've been meaning to get one, but and he's like, yeah, okay, 600, okay, and he's like, you know what? If this was priced in Ethereum and it was just 0.1, I'd buy 4 right now.
Yeah.
He's like, it's
Dude,
just
we
so,
say that all the time.
Yeah.
We say that
Yeah.
all the time.
yeah, you would buy it
It's
right
crazy.
now.
So we were having this issue the other day buying Solana because we're like, I don't know, man. It's like 10 or 20 Sol to get in. And we're like, why can't it just be like a fraction of an Ethereum? It seems like way less when it's only like, it's only 0.3.
It's only
You ain't been to
0.3.
0.3 all the time. But as soon as you're like, oh no, I got to spend like 20 or 30 coins. Like, I don't know, man. That's expensive. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I can't spend that. And then
It's
you're
so-
like, wait,
it
it's the
is.
same price though. It's the same price though.
Yeah, I didn't want to buy the Bored Ape at 0.4. I was like, missed
0.4.
out.
That's crazy.
0.4. I was like,
Yeah.
I missed out. I
Dude.
thought I was like buying
And
at the top. I'm like, this is never gonna go to 1. So like, never gonna flip it. But I wasn't buying it to flip. So I was like, it's okay. It's my forever ape.
yeah.
Week
That
Oh,
lasted
yeah.
2 weeks.
yeah, a week later, you're like 20, 30 grand pays for the, that pays the
Yeah.
lawyers, fills
Yeah.
my bank account,
Yeah, well,
So-
Doc bought a whole brand new streaming rig by flipping an NFT and then bought it
Yeah.
with Ethereum through Newegg.
Newegg, yeah.
Free plug to
Oh
Newegg.
yeah.
I was
Yep.
like, man, I got my first purge. I was like, man, I got to get some cash out because I preach that to these guys, right? Like getting the money out of the ecosystem. So if the bubble pops tomorrow, you have actual
Yeah.
tangible cash out of it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I got to buy it. So we bought.
an accounting nightmare when you
Yeah.
that's like I had a
Yeah.
hour and a half phone call today with CPAs about how we
Yeah.
can do it. And the other thing crazy is like banking. Good luck getting
Yeah.
a business banking account.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're fucked.
Doesn't-
I literally
doesn't
spent the
work.
last week dealing with 3 different banks and I'm about ready just to shoot them all. I literally
Yeah.
said at one point, I was like, I'm gonna make my own fucking bank. Like I'm fucking done. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
my own goddamn bank at this point.
The Ally banking. If you guys, so
Yeah.
Ally is very crypto friendly on a personal level, and they have some of the best bank rates for check. Like you actually gain interest. It's like 0.05, but like on a checking account, you're getting 0.05.
Yeah.
And then their savings, I think. I mean, it's like down now, but it's like 0.7 or something. Whatever. It's still higher than if you put it into a Wells
That's
Fargo.
high interest e-savings right
Yeah.
there.
And then Ally, like you can cash out if you're super lucky 200 grand of Ethereum, 100 grand of Ethereum, and they'll never freeze. They don't care. They're not gonna
Damn.
like halt you. Like yeah, they're very crypto friendly. So personal banks, that's cool. Like I made sure anyone I work with who's like getting paid in Ethereum, I'm like, go get an Ally account. Cause like
Yeah.
I don't want to be like responsible for paying you 2 Ethereum and then your account's frozen. You can't pay rent.
Yeah.
Like get an Ally account and you don't have to use it, but please cash from Coinbase to Ally because I know like everything I've read, they're super good with that. So
And that business move is going to make them billions of dollars because you just said Ally Bank. about 10 times, and as you should, right? Like in the sense that you, and then we will now tell people, and you will go on other, and so just by making that one tiny, like a risque step, if you will, they are, I think, you know, like I said, they will see, like if you are running a crypto business for all intents and purposes, right? And it is, right? And that's exactly what it is. And these guys are the only guys in town you feel comfortable playing with. Well, that says a lot, right?
Someone clip this so we can get a referral code.
Yeah, we'll go get a referral code for you guys. Yeah, you guys will be good. Yeah, but no, I like, and that's why those banks should make those kind of risky decisions, is because it's so, like, I think crypto is pretty mainstream without being super mainstream. I don't know if did you guys follow like the V Friends drop at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah. So one of the things that was like amazing to me, I peeked in because it's like, now it's my industry. It's same with you guys. Like now you have to pay attention to these things. So I peeked into the V Friends like Discord just to see, and it blew me away how many people were like, "What's Ethereum?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you forget, because it's like, that's the easy. Yeah, we get Ethereum, cool, MetaMask, whatever. We get that, right? NFTs are the weird thing for us now. We're super into it, but it was crazy to see how many people follow Gary Vee and didn't know how to buy crypto on Coinbase. Because to me, even a year ago, I'd be like, dude, no, you don't know how to buy crypto on Coinbase. Like that's so just normal to me now. But it's not. It's still not normal to a lot of tech-friendly people. And so that was interesting to me. That was really interesting to me.
Well, yeah, and you had the BBC do an article on NFTs this last week, and then my brother, who's working on some stuff, he had some guys who are in the tech world reach out to me, oh, do you know NFTs? And my brother was like, that's what we do. And like these guys are just like you know, trying to tell them, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to buy some Ethereum, and he's like, yeah, no, like you're not new. And these guys are like, we're going to start making NFTs. I'm like, yeah, people are doing that.
Yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah, and I have like I think I'm going to go to like Vegas this weekend. Hopefully not walk into a casino, because it's just bad news for me. Because I'll
just
be like,
make sure they accept Ethereum.
Yeah,
make sure they accept
like, like high stakes table, like high stakes at the half of an Ethereum. This is nothing, you know. Yeah, so my money thing is skewed now because I'll have it's like my MetaMask wallet. But it's kind of like when you go in a casino, it's like, don't like carry the cash that's lost.
Yeah.
Right. Like you already have to consider that money spent. That's like my rule, and I have the same rule for MetaMask. If it's in my MetaMask, it's spent. I know I'm going to just ape into some NFT. The other night I got drunk and I was just buying like Korean art, because I was like, Korea is like, they're huge into tech. Like, how is there not a bigger, like Thailand has a really, really big art community. But I was like, does Korea? So like that was like my drunk research was like finding Korean artists that like people don't know about. And I bought a bunch of Korean artist stuff. So I'm like, I can't hold money in MetaMask. But so I'm going to Vegas to meet with a group of people who are working to like develop a media company, develop like some influencer marketing stuff. And they want to know, they're like friends of mine. So like I'm gonna go and kind of tell them like what I'm giving them the spiel of like what NFTs are and how they can possibly utilize them, because they have some like really, really interesting concepts. And then like I'm hoping to approach, and this is separate to VOGU, but we're trying to approach some music acts to find out what they would like to do with NFTs, because
I've got a bunch of them reaching out to me. So we have a lot of hip hop guys who lurk in the chat, and you know, obviously we have pretty good music chasing hip hop and mesh on that. And so like after that Tory Lanez thing, like I said, a few of them reached back out and were like, did you? And I was like, yes, I did. And I explained to him why he was doing what he was doing and why they did it and how you could do better, and you know what I mean. And you know, without giving names, there's a few like record label heads I'm going to be consulting with. Their calls have been set up to where I'm explaining how that worked, right? Like why they did what they did, and you know how you because some artists did this, but they did it a bit too early. They jumped the gun. You saw some new names coming in the space, and hopefully a little bit before the giant pump a couple months ago, you know what I mean? And those same artists are now reevaluating, whoa, how is everybody else is dropping, crushing, and what we did, like we did okay, but we didn't, you know what I mean? And so they're now reevaluating, well, the space has changed in a month and a half. That's the indicator. And guys in business know that's an indicator of the buble. You know what I mean?
No, and that I think The fun thing too is there's not a way to do it. Like you could, yeah, release a music video. Sure, you can do that. Like maybe you release archival footage. Maybe you release just art. Maybe it's just a photograph of like 10 years ago, and like you just do like some art photographs that have never been revealed, and you just release that. Like you can do small things like that, and that's fine, and it'll probably be a success. You can go really big with it. And I don't know, maybe do a 10,000 generative like band product. Like maybe you could do that. I don't know. Like you could do anything. And it's like the fun part is there's really not a right way or a wrong way to do it. There's just different ways. And like
Yep.
you won't find out if it's right or wrong until you do it. And then you're gonna be like, oh, that was the wrong way to do it. Maybe we should have done it a little bit differently, But I think if you hit the community, if you hit utility, or if you hit cool art, like if you're hitting some of that, I think you'll be successful, especially if you have a big name behind you.
Yep. Agreed. Well, that's the thing is people getting excited. They were getting excited when like a 90,000 Twitter influencer would tweet the collection. And now we're seeing actually that doesn't do that used to be that like first phase that was enough, not anymore.
Yeah.
Now people the IQ is week over week, like you say, week over week the IQ in general is going up. People are finding these chats, are seeing the patterns. Certain people are picking up like, wait a minute, there's something going on here. They sold that many, there's another game being written here. And
we're go ahead, sorry.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying like, and we're at the point in space now where people are starting to value what an influencer can do.
Yep.
So like, and like, we've had some people talking about wanting to buy in and do some things with us. But you have to be careful because, I've had influencers tell me like, these dudes are being approached with hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy their NFTs.
Yep.
Like I can go and pay you if I wanted to and be like, dude, I'll throw you like 4 VOGU or I'll wire transfer your actual bank account.
Yeah, it's in my DMs.
Grand,
yes,
right?
I
Like,
know.
You can get that. So like,
Yep.
It kind of sucks though, because like now anytime I see an influencer do something, I'm
why?
And
why?
so that's the other
Right?
thing.
Like,
and we have a
and now
saying
I
here,
have
the
these-
blockchain
but
don't
it's
lie,
stuck.
right?
I
We have a
these-
saying
but-
here, the blockchain don't lie. And we would, like I said, like Vic said, we have a lot of
you can
guys in
look.
here. We are a lot of I'm former finance, professional. A lot of us are in the industry and stuff. And so we sniff quick on the contracts and stuff. And so one of the first things the amount of people that come in and go, oh my God, so-and-so bought this. And then you go in the wallet, sort by activity. Did he transfer it or did he buy it? Because if it was transferred, someone sent him that shit. You know what I mean?
And what was that? And what was that random 20 Ethereum payment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's 100%. You're seeing that it's kind of almost like an act of desperation. Like with me, Top Shot, the second they got the Migos, desperate. The second they started signing those contracts as soon as they started putting money out there, I was like, oh, these guys need users. They're done. They can't support the supplies.
Yeah.
So it's a flag to me to be like,
And because of the tech heaviness of our industry, like the community we have in here, lots of the guys actually go into and they write smart contracts. So they actually go into the smart contracts and they look at the language and go, oh, this is all bullshit. You don't even own these NFTs. It's all held by so-and-so. And you just hold what you think is the NFT and they can pull it at any time or change the stats or change the rarity. And people are like,
the tech,
shit.
Like this. You get on like, you can talk about Gary Vee for a second. And I mean, like, there's certain things, like, the guy just did that book drop where he's like, you buy 12 books and you'll get an NFT because he knows what's up. He knows, those guys know that if they'll get that, they'll get access to a market that has 10,000 people, it will get pumped. It's, it's a guaranteed moneymaker, right? Same thing as the Bored Ape.
Yep.
It's fucking, it's grimy. It's grimy. That guy got those people to buy 12, his community to buy 12 of the same fucking piece of crap book. Right, that doesn't have nothing in it of any value, and so it's like he managed to get them to buy 12. How we were going to have a competition in our chat where it's like who can collect the most of them from the dollar store in 3 months, right? Because but will it be a New York Times bestseller? Will it be some NFT? Yeah, it'll work. He'll make a shit ton of money off of his community, and that's the difference here. And that's the difference here is that you're having people who are saying, I want to be part of a community that doesn't do that to me.
I know, and that's so like, and that's what kind of sucks for us because I'd love for like influencers to just like buy our stuff, like just organically buy 20 of our things because they will, but like they're buying them in hidden wallets that you don't even know about because they just don't want people to think they're into it. And it's like the conversations we're having is like, hey dude, I'm really interested, tell me, like, because a lot of these bigger guys, like, they want to know more about your project. They want this conversation, right? Like, because they're not like, they're gonna buy, like, we have a council, right? They want to buy like a council seat for $60,000 and be like, why am I doing that? I want to buy 20 VOGU. Why am I doing that? I want to buy 30
Mhm.
VOGU. Why am I doing that? So they want to talk to you because it's not a little investment. They know that if they buy in, it becomes, why did you buy in? Is it what's the deal? Why? So they need to be able to answer that. It's really is an investment for a lot of these people. And it's kind of sucks because you want to just be like, just buy it because you want to. Why are we just go
Yeah.
do it, man? Like if you want to buy it, but we have to be careful because there is a potential for people to look at certain things and be like, is this shady? So you're having these conversations where someone wants to drop a lot of money on your project and like you're both worried, like, what does this look like?
Yep.
And it sucks
we-
because it's like you want to do this
And
organically,
also,
but it's like,
you don't want them to drop all that money at one time, buy up 20 all at one time, and next thing you know, everyone's like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? And next thing you know, you tank down 25% in price, and it takes you 2 weeks to come back from that. And you take out a bunch of individual wallet holders.
it sucks. It's hard to do it. Oh, good job, Biz. It's hard to do it organically, you know? It can be hard.
Yeah.
So that's like some of the things that we're like negotiating that you didn't think
Yeah.
would be hard, you know?
Yeah, right. You think, money, no problem.
The
Yeah,
funny
right.
part of it, though, the funny part about that though is it cuts both ways. Like one of the big issues we have with this is because we do this for free. Like we're literally just no one's paying us. Like we get people claiming that Bitcoin is paying us because we have Bitcoin charts on the screen and that we're shills for Bitcoin, and we're like.
I've seen. I have had people in my DMs say that we're a FBI honeypot trying to stop people from buying algo. I'm like, but I have algo on our watch list. He's like, but you didn't talk about it today. Wait, what?
and that's why people are having these conversations behind closed doors. Like they need to make sure, like when they're investing at us, because they're gonna get shit for it. Like that's what's gonna happen.
The other worst thing is because we do this for free, people think we're trying to scam them somehow. Because we're giving the information for
Where
free,
are
and
you
we're
making
not
the money? Where
exactly.
Yep.
They think we're scamming them on the back end somehow. I'm like, no, we're just literally just giving you this information. Like I could be charging you thousands of dollars a month for what I'm giving you, but we're doing it altruistically just to try and help
you
grow the
almost have
community.
to monetize a newsletter just so people shut up.
Dude, it's like that. We've had
100%.
arguments. Vic has had arguments, and I've had arguments with people in chat where you try and convince them. They're like, I want to pay to have a private vote for somebody. I want to pay. I was like, no, the gold lounge is inside. You can literally just go inside right now, like the Discord. Just join. You can go talk to someone right now. And they're like, no, I want to pay for a private session. He's like, no, you don't understand. We're going to tell you the same fucking thing right now. Like, you just come inside, let's get you going. You know what I mean? And people are just like, no, I want the one-on-one. I need the private information and trading and stuff.
They
like,
need
what
a paywall or they don't value it.
Yeah,
it's true.
If there's not a paywall, they don't value it. It's fucked up. It's so fucked.
That's how it is. And like,
it is.
And that's like with Gary and like the book thing, it's like he knew that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Like it's like
exactly.
it's just like that's that, and the same with like I don't totally agree with the reverse Dutch auction for the mutants. Like I just thought like I thought that was a lot. Like I don't think that was. I mean, like yes, they got more wallets, but I just feel like that wasn't 3 Ethereum is not a low entry. So like so I was just kind of like, ooh, that was.
But that's by design, right? They know that if they get that price wall, that collection does not dip. That collection doesn't dip because everybody knows and subscribes to the economics of a 20,000 collection, right? They know that if 10,000 of them already know they're good to hold, and the other ones coming in, and we've got some members in here, you know what I mean? It's just as soon as you put a certain price tier on it, you have a different level of investor. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And they understand a little bit more when it comes to how these things work.
But it doesn't mean that like you guys or us, like we don't have to do that. Like yes,
people pay
100%, people pay for access, but we don't have to do that. Like it's just that's not our thing.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It doesn't have to be for profit all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be for, like you said, for the community good. I'm sure you've had deals that you were like, this is not best for us.
Yeah, and there's deals where like, especially because we're trying to grow our IP, like it's just. I would love to do every collab. Like I love, especially when teams are proactive and they're not anonymous and they're like, let's do some stuff. And we think we could find some really cool stuff. But like, there's just a thing about like thinning out the value of your IP by putting out too much stuff. And then like, and
there's
then
a
when
saturation
you go
to that.
And who knows, like we're talking to Pixar and they're going, you put out a bajillion, cool cat VOGUs, like that's not cool, dude. And you're like, like how do you explain that? So
we really need it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I have to say no to. Originally we were just going to do blanket no's, but like the way that the space is moving, and like how, like you talked about, like us being priced out and like we're just doing slow growth, like to keep that slow growth, we had to do a little bit more collabs than like, we feel comfortable with on an IP standpoint, but like they're working and like they're fun, and I love doing them because it's just like cool to experiment where we can take the VOGU IP and try new things, you know.
Yeah.
But like I want to focus more like the MetaKey stuff that we're doing. Like I want to focus more on like long-term partnerships like with MetaKey and do things
Yeah.
together with them than like 20 different collabs with all of these other projects.
So can we dive into that a little bit more? Because one of the big
Yeah.
questions coming to the chat a bunch
Yeah.
is where
Yeah.
where do you see VOGU going, and what's kind of like your roadmap? And of course, is there any like inside stuff that you can drop right now that you're working on that we're going to see in the near term? Because everyone always wants that inside
I know they want the
information.
inside.
Yeah.
I know. I wish
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
looked.
The juice.
We had the. I was
Yeah, yeah.
hoping to.
You
Go
can
ahead,
just
sorry.
blink. We have a key phrase. You can just blink twice, and that means yes. We'll just
Yeah.
ask questions, and you can confirm or deny by blinking, and that way
Yeah.
there's deniability.
No, I'm working on the art of saying everything without saying anything. That's like the
Yeah,
art that I
exactly.
gotta work on.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
no, like there's the in real life stuff is moving, but it's moving at the in real life pace.
Yep.
For the metaverse, like we've been having some really really good meetings with MetaKey, and we're working like what does that look like? Like where does that partnership look like? One of the first things that we're working on, I don't know the timetable, is like a wearable. So we're hoping to put out a DCL wearable with MetaKey and VOGU, that will be like a something that you'll be able to recognize as part of the VOGU collection, and then we'll throw some like MetaKey graphics on it, and it'll be like a really cool thing that we can drop for free. And then we're working on part of our partnership with MetaKey is allowing us space within their owned property. So we're working through like what does that space look like? We're talking about having like lounges that you could have lore sessions in and kind of like meet and hang out and like those kind of things. Like we're working on what they look like, and we're getting some like estimates on like what is the build quote, like who do we hire and how long does it take and how much does that cost? We've got the big thing that we're really focused on now is the companions drop, which we're calling MUTTS because it's like
Yeah. There's a lot of
dog,
questions for that in the chat. Yeah.
I'm starting to see more and more
Yeah.
Mutt stuff. We will do another teaser this week for Mutts. I was seeing if I could have it ready for this one. Unfortunately, it's just like I can't.
Feel free
I
to let
tried,
us know
guys.
though. Come on
I
back.
tried.
Come on back though. If you
I
want to come
tried,
on
I
back
know.
and show it.
I tried. I'll probably I'll throw it to you in Discord like
Oh yeah, there you go.
a little bit before we tweet it or something.
Ooh, sexual.
Oh,
Oh.
inside info.
That
Nice,
sauce,
nice.
that
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, but they're like we're doing. We started teasing. Like I would love to not tease. Like with Bored Ape Yacht Club when they just dropped the Kennel Club like on everybody. Like I love that. Like because it's just such a surprise and it's super fun and it's Christmas morning. Like I love
Mhm.
that. But again, because of the current environment and everything is so super hot, and then everyone's like, everything's blowing up. What is VOGU doing? Like we have to start teasing a little bit earlier, and you have to start your
Mhm.
marketing a little bit earlier than you'd feel comfortable with. So we're teasing our way into next
Yeah.
month slowly. But there's
That
like
is
so
the
much
biggest
info we
question
want to
in
show.
NFT right now. Everybody coming in and saying, what one is going to pop for the Halloween? I'm like, they probably haven't
Yeah,
announced
right.
it yet. And yeah, like, listen, we didn't know what was
Yeah.
going to come out this week, last week. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like you
Uh,
said, right? 2 weeks in NFT crypto land is like 2
Yeah.
years, right?
Yep.
Like 2 weeks is 2 years. Like
2
people
years.
ask us what happened on Friday. We're like, I don't know what was Friday.
I
Like,
don't
Yeah,
know.
what was
Yeah,
it?
what
Yeah.
crop was that? Was that was that the penguins, the camels, or the whatever
Yeah.
animal?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's like we're working on all that stuff, and we're trying to just our two big things within the NFT space is like continuing to grow our community, and try to find ways to keep and up that community engagement. And what does that look like? D&D, poker nights, things like that. We're doing like 4 meetings, like we're doing clubhouses every week, like 2 clubhouses every week. We're trying to do a Twitter space at least once a week. So we're trying to do more of that stuff to just be in front of everybody. Artistically, we're focused on the Mutts drop to make sure we get that out, and it's just like, because I hate being the guy. It's like Gary Vee is like, this book's gonna change people's lives. I'm really
12
bad at
copies of
saying
it.
those kind of things. I'm so bad at saying that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
the Mutts are gonna blow everyone away. They're insane. Like, I'm like. I just try to like they're cool. I like them. I'm
Yeah.
like not good
Yeah.
at like I don't like to oversell because I'm so nervous that people won't like it. Like that's just, and it's not even my art, but I'm always super nervous that people won't like it. But like I'm very excited to get them out there.
For sure.
And then doing the stuff with like MetaKey and stuff like that is like I'm pumped for that kind of stuff.
you should just show Doc then, because if he likes something, he just naturally sells it. He gets so fucking hyped up and animated, people can't help but ape into it.
Good. I'll like I said, we'll give him an early Mutts tease, and he can
Yeah,
give
if
out
he,
the
if he,
Mutts
well,
are insane tweet.
I'll warn you, if he doesn't like it, it's also equally just as bad.
It's a risk I'm gonna have to take, but at least we'll get that
unfortunately,
feedback.
yeah.
He'll be our
I'm wide open, unfortunately.
He'll be the litmus test. We'll get the heart rate monitor on him, and you'll 100% know right away what the deal is.
My 8-year-old nephew thinks it's rad, so like
there you go.
awesome.
That's done. That's done.
And I
done.
sent like I
Well,
had my
that's perfect
CPA.
because I'm 9 about mentally, so we're good.
I sent my CPA. I was like, go look at the OpenSea collection, please, because he had a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I was like, could you show them the VOGU and see if they're cool? Because I need market research. Like I'm pitching these companies that we could make toys and sell to 12-year-old boys, but I don't know if 12-year-old boys even like them.
100%. Like, listen, I sent my sister one. And we asked if would a woman wear, would your sister or your mother put this as a profile picture? It's 100% a quantifiable thing you need to ask.
Yeah, and like if I'm gonna tell these companies that we can make T-shirts and we can be in Walmart as toys and we can be in every Toys R Us doesn't even exist, but I was about to say Toys R Us. Like like, are we in the mall?
It's right there next to Kmart.
Old. It's okay, we're old.
Are we in Kmart? Like and then that's how we think. Like, can I sell these toys? Like, will these toys sell? And I don't. Everyone in our space, it's a bunch of 25 to 45-year-old guys, and 10% of us are female. And like everyone's like, yeah, no, toys are cool. It's like, yeah, but you're not going into Walmart and buying up the toys. That's 10-year-olds. Like, your kids are buying it, and you think it's cool, but we all know that like sometimes as parents, like you're not.
We're lame.
Yeah, you're lame. So like you're gonna be like, buy these cool toys, and the kids are gonna be like, no, dude, like those aren't cool. I want to buy these. And so I want to make sure that we make the VOGU cool for 10-year-old kids.
See, then you need to make like a VOGU like animated show like Transformers.
Yeah, that's what we need to, and that's what I want to do. We're trying to,
and then you put it on Amazon Prime, tied into a Shopify store with the ability just to buy now.
Yeah,
I want this one. Buy now.
Just make a mobile app that the kids just can have control and buy all the currency. Yeah. You
Parents will love it. Parents will love it.
Yeah.
Well, just like, like the drop button Amazon had that they had to get rid of because people kept hitting them and kept ordering stuff that they didn't remember ordering.
Yeah, the buttons. I wanted it. I wanted the button for this so bad. And I was like, I have to just buy it and like remove the battery because I'll just, like instead of going downstairs, I'll just hit it. But like I wanted it just as like a meme kind of because I drink way too many of those. Okay,
so I don't want to derail the conversation, but what is your favorite Monster Energy flavor? Because Doc has his pick list. He'll give you his pick list in a second here, but he's going to give you a critical analysis of your flavor contract for American Nutrition.
This one's my first. This is the go-to. I love Rehabs,
but
I can't drink them as regularly as this. There you go.
It's the Ultra. What's that? The Ultra White. See,
the Ultra White. That's my
go-to. The nutritional staple is the Mango Loco, right, with the sugars. But if you can't do mango full fats. That's a meal replacement. That's a morning. That's a dinner. You know what I mean? You have to have the ultras for in between. You can't do 5 mangoes in a day. You're not Jesse. Not everyone's Jesse. You know what I'm saying? We have to.
I stay away from sugar. That's my thing. Is like if I can avoid the sugars, always get the Ultra Sunrise. Yeah, that's a great one. So I go with the sugar.
If Monster is watching, I'll let you know right now. I own their Ethereum slogan name, so come get it. Unleash the beast, baby.
Talking to some of these like the business connections, and they're like, "Well, who do you want to talk to? Like, what is?" And I was like, "Can we just get a Monster fridge for me? What is that?"
Dude.
Like for some of these people, they're like, "You just want a Monster fridge?" Like. Yeah, like I got 20 dudes I know sponsored by them. We'll get it for you. I'm like, I'm like, can I get a Monster fridge? That's all I want is just a Monster fridge.
Then I know I made it.
And I finally arrived.
Andrew really changed when he got his Monster fridge. He's acting better than everyone else.
That was the last connection to the outside. That was the only reason he was going Untersider was to get Monsters. Now he's just a recluse.
He's just changed. He's not that cool, reachable Andrew anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that's awesome, bro. We're gonna have to definitely get you back on again to have an update. You know what I mean? We're obviously invested in now as a community, and just check in with us. And like I said, don't feel like I have to reach out to you. If you have something you want to talk about or come on, just go ahead and obviously I will be reaching out, but Bourbon's here too.
And listen, my dream is that I eventually just hire a publicist and they just give me a schedule. That's the dream.
Wait a minute, that's your dream too?
Yeah.
Wait a
until
minute,
you have a schedule. Until you have a schedule, and then you're like, fuck this shit. Why did I ever want a schedule?
Yeah, well, I mean, like that's like my Monday mornings are like looking at my Google Calendar, just going like, "Ooh, did I book all this? Like, why did I agree to any of it?" It's just like, because like I just agree to things. Like, obviously, I want to do this call, but then I was
Mhm.
like looking at it, and it was like a block of hour and a half CPA, and then like
Yeah.
I left myself like 30 minutes to have an art design call for Mutts, and then I hopped on this, and I'm like, why did I think that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Never like the CPAs ran long, and like I hop
Yeah.
in the Discord call, I got 10 minutes with my artist, like to go over everything, and I'm just like, are we ready for Mutts? Are you guys good for Mutts? Can we
Yeah.
get it? Can you do this? Can you animate that? Gotta go. See you guys.
Yeah.
Like it just
and
was
then
not.
immediately you got 10 minutes to talk about Mutts, and then you got an hour and a half of people asking you about them. There might be an issue
Yes.
there with scheduling.
I know, and then everyone's like, "Why aren't they done in time?" And you're like, "Because I'm terrible at scheduling my time." And I kind of like, you want the
Yeah.
truth? It's like I made a really bad call on Monday, and we weren't able to get what we were supposed to get done.
Exactly.
But I won't. I don't admit that. That's a lie. That's all acting.
We're crushing.
strike
We're
it from the
crushing. We're the
record.
most
We'll strike it
productive
from the
team I've ever seen. I am too
Don't put
efficient,
that.
if anything.
I mean, honestly,
too efficient.
one thing we really learned too is the community loves seeing that background stuff, that back room. Like honestly, if you had a conversation live on stream with your actual Mutts artist, and they were like, you guys had a face to face, like, hey, I want this, and you saw the back and forth, and the actual like how the sausage gets made is what we call it.
Yeah.
They fucking love that. They eat it up. Like they just eat it up.
Like every YouTube video we have is like filmed live, right? We film it while streaming and then edit it and put it out there. But the chat is live seeing what we put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so segue to that. I don't know if you guys have checked him out. It's one of my big things in the space. One of my I'm a huge fan of Felix, Felix Slater from Roscoe and Friends. He's doing a lot of really cool things. His background is kind of like YouTube, Twitch. Like he's managed for YouTube, Twitch, and he's done a bunch of things like for some bigger names. So he's like, that's my strength. He's a sick artist. Like go check out his stuff. Roscoe and Friends is awesome. He's doing a tarot card thing. It's amazing. But like he's gonna start doing physical soon, which I'm like a huge fan. I'm like he like was pitching it to me to see if I liked it, and he showed me like, and it's like sorry Felix, but he showed me like these skateboards and spray paints, and I was like, yeah, sorry, it's an absolutely terrible idea, but I'll buy those skateboards off of you. Like I just wanted everything he showed me, but he's
So is that like the one behind you on the wall?
Yeah, he's like, but this one I got from just CCS. You can go to CCS and put whatever graphic you want on it for the price of a normal skateboard. Like I just did this. I did this as a gift when me and Jason, when we sold, I ordered 2 of them as like a celebration for me and Jason to kind of like, this will be the thing that we.
That's a good question. What did you do right after that drop? Right after the drop's cleared and you've cleared and everything's okay. And what was that first phone call? What did you do? Go for a walk? What was the first like? Okay, we've done this.
You just curl up in a ball and cry.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Not a good or a bad thing. It's just like your body is ready to just like, you just curled up into a little ball and
all the endorphins left. All the dopamine's gone.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there shaking on the floor.
You just cry.
Sipping on your Monster Ultra.
Yeah. And it was like, and it was just, especially ours, because we had the tech issues that we had, and not just a level of stress that like I would never put on anyone. And it's just like there's little things like I'm not a good speller, so like I'll put out a press release with a spelling error. Not a big deal. Who cares, right? Like, oh shucks, whatever. You get a dev that like forgets to wrap a line of code or something. Bigger issue, right? Or just like happens to forget that like we're tied into an API that if we hit 800,000 times might think we're DDoSing them and shut down our entire thing, right? Like, so like these are little things that like anyone could make a mistake on. Like, but when we talk about how new it is in the space, and like we're all amateurs in contract writing and things because like it's only been around for so long that most people have only been writing them for 1 to 3 years. And those the guys that have been writing smart contracts for 3 years are experts. In any other field, you're a novice still. Like you really haven't, like if you got a guy who's like, I've been building websites for 3 years, you're like, well, you're kind of new at it, But like in the NFT world, it's like, oh, 3 years of solidity, like that's a great, like, wow, that's amazing. But like people make mistakes, and like you have to like get over it, like from a business lead standpoint, like you just need to move on. But it just creates this like stress in your body where the 2 launch days were like the most stressful, worst days of my life, like during it. Like it was just brutal. and you're just getting no one's like, you know, I had some really great DMs and I had some really negative DMs. And it's
Yep.
just like it really affects your mental health, and you just have to breathe and be like, we're people, like we can do this, like it's okay, like let's move on. But it was just tough. And then like it all goes through, and like now you're like, okay, the real work starts. Like now we can start.
Yep.
Like we got through it, we can start. So really it was just like you sighed, you're like, okay, I might be able to sleep tonight. Maybe not really, but like your adrenaline's like starting to calm down, and it was just like it's intense. It wasn't, I wish it was like this like party, you know, because it is a celebration. Like everyone who was involved in any kind of drop who's sold out should feel successful, and like you should be happy with it. But I guarantee that like even like I bet the Bored Ape Yacht Club guys feel pretty good today. I bet they feel pretty good. Everything went okay, you know. But remember, they got pushed back a little bit, and you don't see behind the curtain. That might have been a disaster on that Discord call with those 5 guys. Might have been sweating that it wasn't going to happen, and they weren't going to make that. And then they pushed through, and they got it. $90 friggin' million later, and they're okay, you know. But yeah, it's stressful. It is stressful. So if you guys are planning to go through with it, good luck.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's like,
Well, I have aerospace experience, and I know what it's like to fucking like literally like we put in like 24-hour shifts working nonstop, and everyone's like, it needs to be fucking ready by this time, and if it's not fucking ready, it's not fucking going. We're all gonna fucking murder you. Oh, okay, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Okay,
no pressure
okay.
though, but you know, dot your I's, cross your T's,
Yeah.
wrap your code.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you know,
And by the way, it also has to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think it actually has to be perfect with this code. Like there's no, you know, if you launch an app, if you're in the startup world and you launch an app and people are like, oh, there's bugs, and you're like, we'll fix it in the next patch.
We'll patch it.
There's no patch for a contract. Like you're screwed. Like, you know, like it's.
And there's no second chance. There is no second chance. Once there's like the confidence is gone, it's over. Once that the sniff of a rug pull, the sniff.
That was the worst.
Well, that's the
call
problem
I've
with
ever
the
had to
space.
make. Yeah, and it is. And that was the worst call I ever had to make was pausing. It was the worst call I ever had to make. And it was just like, you knew when you know it's the right call to pause the drop, like, you know, it is. It doesn't matter because it's still brutal, and you know it's just going to be terrible. It's like I can't, and then I'm just like laughing at like, you know, it's a microcosm of our thing, but it was the worst decision I've ever made, and it affects all these people. But I'm like, man, people have made such harder decisions, and I can't imagine what they feel like. Like I can't imagine being like a president of a country pulling out, or like some crazy political, like ginormous, like you just have to make a bad call because it's the right thing to do. But it's just
it's the only call.
There, like, like I paused a smart contract and it was terrible and it was a disaster. But like, holy heck, was it the worst thing that I've ever had to do? And I'm just like, this is not a big deal compared to some crap that some other people had to go through. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine it being worse.
Now, out of curiosity, before you guys did that launch, did you go run it through the test net or anything, or you just went raw live?
Yeah. No, everything was tested. Everything was fine. What it was when you're testing loads, you're doing load testing and you're seeing how it is. The problem was for our first drop, there was a line of code that was left in that wasn't really supposed to be there. It was just from like when you're copying pasting and you had originally built this for some other stuff, it was there. And what it did is it called an API that would give you information you don't really need in a smart contract. It was like say bloat, like it was bloat. So it was just calling this thing where it was like, how much is the price of Ethereum? How much is in your wallet? Like things that you may need to know for certain transactions on a corporate scale, but like for us, we did not need to know that. So we would run 20, 50, whatever. We'd mint all of them, right? And it was fine. And then you do a load test on the website. Website's fine. The problem was every one of those transactions hit this API 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, right. So within seconds, it's 800,000 requests from one server. And that API goes, boom, timeout. Do not give them. And that was, so people laughed at us because my dev was like, I don't know, it looks like it's querying something and MetaMask is blocking us. It looks, maybe someone thinks it's a DDoS, and everyone gave him, all of the super smart tech heads in the world gave my dev shit because they were like, oh, MetaMask thinks you're DDoSing him. It was the same call. So he was on the, and that's, if anyone in tech knows, you're just looking through what could be possibly be happening, and you're like, it could be this, it could be that, right? So that's what he was doing. He's just like, something's happening. It looks, they're blocking our IP, so they probably think we're doing a DDoS test, and he didn't know what it was. So it wasn't tied to MetaMask. It was the same call, but it was a separate API. We figured it out, just deleted it, and we were good to go. But it was like that little, like, we tested, like, but 800,000 requests, like, so it's just a little oversight. Like, it wasn't, we tested, we checked the code, everything looked great, but we missed something, and that's, again, if it was an app, we'd have just patched it the next day and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it's a big deal when you're doing smart contracts.
Crazy.
Well, and the worst thing too is to get 2/3 or 3/4 way through the mint, and then the mint gets shut down because some API says, nope, I'm had enough. You guys are attacking me. This isn't legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, so like, we were like, and we looked at it, we're like, well, maybe if we pay that API a bajillion dollars to up our requests or whatever, maybe they'll allow it. And I'm like, I don't want to see that API ever again in my entire life. Like, delete it out of it. Like, I don't care what we like. And I think we thought we might have to lose like Wallet Connect because it was tied to like how Wallet Connect was interacting with the API or whatever. So I was like, I don't lose it. Like, that was just such a, I don't want to work around it. We're launching tomorrow, so delete it. Like, I don't want to, like, I was just so hurt by that. I was like, I don't want to ever see that call ever again or deal with that website ever again.
Man.
Yeah, I do think some people laughed because, like, I know people talk about like minting from the contract and stuff, and it's like a lot of people got a lesson on minting from the contract because the website went down, and it was like a lot of people didn't even know you could mint from the contract.
And it was
I still get like FUD today where people like call us out on Twitter, like it was like an insider thing to be able to mint from the contract. They're like, you scammed
Conspiracy.
people. And I was like, what
Conspiracy.
do you mean? And
Conspiracy
they're like, you
theories.
scammed people because you only allowed certain people to mint from the contract. And I'm like, nope, no, we didn't. Like, I don't know how to answer that. Like, it's just a fundamental like, you just don't know. Like, but a lot of people don't. So like, it's it's great to learn more about the space because like every drop you go into, you learn more. Like, you get better.
Oh, 100%. You learn, exactly. It's week over week, your IQ in the space, even ours, is going up and up and up, and it's because the space itself is evolving, right? So that's part of it too. But
nowadays, like, most people know how to mint from a contract or like get that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You say most people, you're talking about literally like the top 10% of like the top 1% of the people in crypto.
I'm a different, I talk to different people, I guess. It's a good point. It's a good point.
We still on a daily basis, people are like, what's a MetaMask? How do I put Ether into my MetaMask? And they're like, okay, read this, watch this video, come back, ask a question. They're like, why is it so expensive right now? Okay, well, look at gas now. Look at this time of day. You're going to want to send it at this time. This is how gas works.
It's so complicated. Like,
what's an NFT exactly?
It's intimidating. It's intimidating. Like, there's a barrier of entry to this space. I don't know. It's tough. I don't know if we can solve that. I mean, who knows? I do think like super mainstream adoption probably looks like Top Shot.
I mean, you're gonna. Well, but the problem is with Top Shot is you can't get your money out that damn. It takes forever on that.
There's all that. But
so the thing you're gonna see is these problems are gonna get solved one at a time, right? Just like they did in the internet in 96, 97, 98. Like I tell these guys, there's a shit ton of guys with smoking hot wives on Miami Beach who stopped working in 1990 something because they solved something, right?
Some problem
and you're seeing problems like right now we have a plethora to pick from, but one guy, he sent USDT to an OMI address, right? There will be a time where it won't allow you to do that, right? There will be a time where that checks first to make sure what you're sending is not USDT, like a cross thing right there. So it's like those things.
Currency is the scariest friggin' thing in the world.
It's scariest thing, but it won't be.
I was like interviewed by like normal, like Good Morning America, and they were like, "What's you're on the side of the road. What's the scariest thing in the world?" They'd be like sending crypto.
Typing
Any
in
amount.
the listing price on
Any
OpenSea,
amount.
Because-
and not fat fingering the listing price on OpenSea. That's the most terrifying thing in all of
Yeah.
crypto.
Which we see
Yeah.
all day, every day. We see
Oh,
someone who
all
misses
day.
a zero
I've
and a
done it.
decimal point. You're like, motherfucker, you
I
just
paid
said you
so
put an
much.
extra zero in there. Oh my
I
god!
listed a
watching your
pudgy. I listed a
embarrassment.
pudgy. Yeah, I listed a pudgy
You're-
1 Ethereum below floor, and you saw the pudgy Discord explode while I jacked the highest gas I could to cancel that fucking thing. And I'm like, I've lost it. It's all on film, obviously. I've lost it. It's over. What have I done? I'm an idiot. And you see it go through, and then oh my god. Like,
Have you
what
have you guys sold something really quickly and then been like, shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've done that. Like I've listed something and then
yeah.
I didn't check it. Yeah, and it wasn't a big amount. I think I listed some project that I couldn't even remember.
Or me and Vic both did this
I-
yesterday. We were buying, and I looked at a couple things, clicked the contract to see what the gas would do, got distracted looking at other things, then went to confirm a sale just in a rush, clicked accept 3 times, and bought 3 freaking bulls, didn't I? All of them 0.3, 0.4, like nice, the best ones I was looking at go through, and then the floor one when I make a decision to buy the floor, and I'm like, oh, this 0.1 one, you know what I mean? The next thing you know, I've cleared out an entire Ethereum because I didn't read my freaking MetaMask.
Yeah, when we talk about we did a clubhouse about crypto security and NFT security last week, and that was like one of the things was like, don't be in a rush. It's but like so easy to say.
But in my spot, it wasn't even a rush, but because the way MetaMask works, right? It's Philo, right? First in, FIFO, first in, first out, right?
Yeah.
So when I looked at the contract, I thought it was the contract that I had just accepted. When I clicked confirm, I was like, oh shit, that was the previous motherfucker. And then the one I wanted to buy was the next one that came up, and it's like, shit.
I've had where I didn't realize that like a list for sale hadn't confirmed, and I went to like snipe something. And I'm like, come on. And then I'm like, it's not happening. And then I go back to list for sale, and I'm like, cancel. And then I lost.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. It's insane.
Well, like I did a video on gas sniping and trying to buy, what was I trying to buy? Koalas. I was trying to buy koalas off the floor.
Yeah.
And as I was doing the video, I'm trying to explain like how you change the gas and set the limits and stuff like that. And just the act of me explaining the gas as I was doing the video was enough for me to get sniped like 3 times in a row. So I was like, well, this is how you guys see how this really happens. This is sniping in real time. Like I just lost $180 in gas just showing you guys what gas sniping is.
But that's how people learn. Like it's a trial by fire for sure for some of this stuff. And then like you're a grizzled vet after like 2 years.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are jaded. So I got to ask though, how do you find Clubhouse as a medium? Like you finding good traction there? Do you like it?
We've just started, and I'll talk on any platform for 3 hours. Like I'm good to go. I got my energy drinks. Like let's go. So I like Clubhouse. The cool thing that I've seen so far with, our clubhouses have been smaller to medium size. They haven't really been that great, like crowds of people.
But when you say small to medium, what are you talking like 100?
5 to 20. Like this is small.
Oh, 5 to 20 people.
Yeah, like not anything huge. But that's been cool because then like you're not bringing up a bajillion people that are just like drowning on and stuff. I don't like large clubhouse rooms. Like I've tried to join them to see, again, because I'll talk everyone's ear off. So it's like I'll join one and be like, how could I talk?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't have anything to say to these people. Like they're drowning on and on and on, and everyone's kind of talking their own thing. So like I haven't liked large clubhouse rooms. Large Twitter spaces are kind of the same. I found a better vibe on the Twitter spaces. Like I'm trying to be more involved in that kind of stuff. But I do like they're different people. Like that's the cool thing. Like the people that are on NFT Clubhouse aren't the people watching the stream, and they're not the people on Twitch or on Twitter spaces. So like that's kind of cool. Like I've kind of recognized that like there isn't as much crossover as you think. Like
There's very little. It's a small world. It's a really small world.
Crossover. Like they stick to their platform. And from a marketing perspective, like we've been like kind of understanding that, going, we probably have to do a little bit of everything. Like even Instagram and TikTok, we've got to find ways to put ourselves on there. So it's interesting.
Yeah, there's tons on Instagram, and like I'm sure you've been hit up a lot more than I have, but like every time I do anything about NFTs on Instagram, I get like 20, 30 DMs about people trying to like promote.
Yeah, everyone wants us to pay them.
Yeah. Oh, just send me
Yeah.
$50. Oh, just send me $30. Oh, just send me $90, and I'll do this
Yeah,
post
send
and
me
this story
send
and
me a
this
free VOGU and stuff. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
VOGU. Damn, that's some
Yeah.
pricey
Oh,
promotion.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
no.
people
You know,
people want
you can just send me
bigger
1.5
amounts.
VOGU, and you know,
Yeah.
I'll make the magic happen for you.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
and like the hard I get on Twitter's my favorite because you get these like they have like 2 million followers and it's like a picture of a really pretty girl.
Yeah,
And you
100%.
look
That's your
and you
first.
look at and you look that yeah, first thing I was like,
Yeah.
and then you look at like but there's some beautiful women in crypto, so like let's
Yeah.
not let's
Yeah.
not pretend. But there's like a million their entire feed is just retweets about shit
Yep.
coins
Yep.
or
Yep.
garbage products, and they reach out and they're like, "Hi, would you work together?" And you're like, "Hey, your community looks great. I'd love to talk to you. We're not looking for anything paid right now." And they go, "Okay." They don't. And
Here's their price
that's
list.
it.
Yeah. Here's
They
the
just go,
prizes. Yeah.
"Okay," and they don't talk to me. I'm like, "Great, awesome. Would love to interact with your community and see what that works as a partnership. Not looking for anything paid right now." And then they stop talking to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see. Often what I do too is I go, oh, I think we're just going to focus on doing like organic community growth for now.
Yeah.
And then they immediately come back like, well, here's my list. How about I give you a
Yeah.
discount? I'll do it for like a third the price or like a quarter of the price. And you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm still good. And they're like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
about like, how about you just send me a photo and I'll give you a test sample for like 30 minutes? It's like, nope, still good. Like, not interested.
Yeah. I did like and there is like I did a great Twitter Spaces with it was like Crypto Whales, I think it was Crypto
Yep.
Whale NFT or something. I'm trying to remember what his thing was, and that was really cool because his group like wasn't like there was I thought I was gonna get ripped because when he announced it, the comments were all like scam, Ponzi, money laundering.
Yeah.
It was just the typical like right click save as, like all the nonsense that we hear. And I'm like, I'm gonna get brutal. Like this is gonna be brutal. And the Twitter Spaces was pretty cool. Like it was actually chill. So like he was
Oh
someone
yeah.
that I thought was gonna reach out and ask for a bunch of money and do all this stuff, but they were like, like I've never done a Twitter Spaces, but like that might be cool. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of interaction that I like to have because it's like, hey, I want to do something that benefits both of us that doesn't require one of us paying each other. Like
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
can find
Yeah.
something. And it was like for him, it was his first Twitter Spaces. Everyone seemed to really respond well. Like his community responded well to it. So he can now go and do another one later. Hell, he could charge the next person, like whatever he wants to do. But like, it was kind of this fun thing that both communities like worked at. So I like stuff like that better. Like this is beneficial for all of us, and we all have fun, and it doesn't cost any of us any money. So that's a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until we all ape into a project together, and then it costs us
Exactly
money.
right.
Oh, what do you think we've been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I know. I got to leave soon because I have a call in like a half
Well,
hour.
we
But,
appreciate you giving us so much time, man. You got chilling.
Yeah. You've honestly been here a lot longer than we probably all expected.
Oh, but it's a blast, man. Thank you guys for letting me hang out and hopefully
it's
we'll do
fun.
something. Once I get cool mutt stuff to come, like
Yeah.
I'll try to.
Hell
come
yeah,
back.
Anytime, man.
That's it.
Like, we're here 24/7.
Even
I don't
if
know
you
if you
just want
really
to spit the
understand the
shit about the
format.
industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Like,
guys just on here all day?
all day 24/7.
Just like crypto, there's a need for help desk 24/7. People need place to come. You need
Who
to check
sleep?
if
Like you
if
just
some-
sleep
Nah.
in.
I pass out. Vic's on because he's on the East Coast. I pass out. If I'm not in this desk, I am asleep in bed.
There's yeah. Actually, I got to point up, but yeah, there's the
Yeah.
energy drink. Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yep, that is it.
Yeah, like,
24/7, just
and
like
honestly,
crypto.
you can come into the chat if you want to come in here and talk. Like you say, you're just doing something. You're like, want to just talk about VOGU or a new project or something you're working on. You're like, hey, what do you guys think about X as a community? Like, we're thinking
Yeah.
about doing this. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Well, we always have
Yeah.
We
That would
have
be
200 or
fun.
300 people around. There's always 200 to 300 people around, and they'll be brutally honest with you. If they like it, they'll like it.
Yeah.
If they hate it, they'll hate it. And like, you can just come
Yeah.
and just spit the shit, or sometimes be like,
Yeah.
man, like, what do you think about the price of Solana, or what do you think Ethereum's going to do, or Bitcoin, or fucking whatever you want. Like, it doesn't have to be VOGU.
Yeah.
Or you can just
Yeah.
be like, you know what do you think about this new Monster energy drink I got? I don't like the flavor.
Yeah, I'd love to come and chat. Yeah, so now that I
Yeah.
know you guys are on all the time and I have a platform
Yeah.
to just like talk forever, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
But no, definitely because like I said, I'm going to the same as all of us been approached by people to help them launch NFTs or have
Mhm.
advice or something like that. I think there may be some times where I'm like, hey guys, I'm maybe working with this person. What do you guys think of this idea with them? So that
Yeah.
would be kind of fun. I think that would be a
Hell
lot
yeah,
of fun.
man. That's awesome, bro. Like I
That's
said, I
great.
really
Alright.
appreciate you coming on, then. And like I said, this is just the beginning of communication between our communities, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Like I said,
absolutely,
we're one and the same, actually, as most of us actually own a VOGU. Like I said,
yeah.
and some will wait, and the people on the fence, I was like, all right, I'm not going to convince you. I was like, the guy's coming on Monday. You know what I mean? So you go ahead, just wait till Monday. So we'll see how you did now, because a bunch of sales will roll through. Or...
yeah, I'm going to check sales bot.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You can look at the list.
Yeah, and see,
You can see all the DNN logos pop through. Bot.
Yeah.
It's when you start seeing them all sell that you need to get worried.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll find the mutual servers. Oh, like take a profits. Like that's fun too, man.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate everything. Thank you. Appreciate the community. We're definitely like the fun thing is like we're very lore centric, and like we got the D&D stuff and the poker stuff. So like hopefully we'll get some stickiness. Like hopefully you come and buy 3, sell 2, and you'll always be around with one of them. Like that's kind of what we're hoping to grab some stickiness with the community in one way or another. But thank you guys. Thank you everyone up here and in chat. Like thank you a lot. This was a lot of fun.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, we really
Thank you so
enjoyed
much,
it, man.
All right, ciao.
All right, see you later.
Thank you.
Good time.